What's up? 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 What is up? How are y'all doing today? It is Friday, and y'all know what that means. That means we're gonna have us a good old time tonight. I am your host, Emmanuel Eman Noisette. We are here to talk about the news from the week. We've got some Marvel confessions. I am going to give you guys my review for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, spoiler free. And then we got some Fantastic Four updates. We got a couple rumors we gotta go through, some movie stuff, some TV stuff. We got a lot of different things that we're gonna talk about today. So you guys are gonna be in for, I think, a real treat. Let's see. I do need to say thank you to a couple people real quick. Sammy, thank you so much for the $10 Cash App. You had sent it when I had went offline last time, so you had said here for Bruce Wayne, could he be biracial? As in Batman biracial? I think that depends. It depends. I'm still gonna have questions. If Bruce Wayne is biracial, I'm gonna have questions because once again, anytime you change his ethnicity, you are absolutely changing the character in one way or another. Because now I got questions. Is his mama still named Martha? Because I don't know if it's Martha. Thomas and Martha. Listen, I'm just saying I got more questions. But thank you so much for that. And I also got to give some thanks to Terrence. Thank you, Terrence. You said for the $10 Cash App. For Doctor Who, for Doctor Who, you can't steal my joy today, E-Man. First of all, brother Terrence, I would never try to steal your joy ever. That is not my intention with anybody. I want you to enjoy all the Doctor Who that you can handle. I believe today it does release. I think it's on Disney Plus, if I'm not mistaken. So I believe the new season of Doctor Who is out. So, man, brother, enjoy, have fun, do your thing. That is all fine by me. All right, let's do some quick shout outs to see who made it out, and then we will get started. We got Ism in the building. What is up? Good to see you. Paulette, thank you so much for being here. Rhonda, the homie, what is up? Kimmy J is back. Good to see you again. We got the homie Kristen Pratt holding it down with the Mod Squad. Thank you so much. Simba, what is up? Thank you for being here. My man Tane is here as well. Wouldn't be alive without Ms. Harper. Thank you so much for making it out. I appreciate you. Jay, what is up? Thank you so much for being here as well. MC Harris, what is up? Tyra, hello. Good to see you. Raptor, hello. Good to see you as well. We got the homie Zia Latrice here. Thank you so much for being here. Corey, how you doing? Shar, what is up? Treese, thank you so much for being here again. Didier is back. Thank you so much. We got my man Dex is here. Come on through, T-Ville. Thank you so much for being here as well. What's up, Theo? Rachel, how you doing? Tracy is back. Always a pleasure. My man Eric is here all the way from the far east. Maha son. Love to see when we get international with this. My man Nelson V is here. Who else did I see? Oh man, we getting extra international. My man Stamina MC all the way from across the pond. Thank you so much. Formerly known as Boss. Thank you for being here as well. My man Cal Payne is here. What is up, Sim? Thank you so much for being here. Mama J is in the building. Always a pleasure. Minister Crush, excuse me. Thank you so much for being here as well. Prince, how you doing? Good to see you. Christy, thank you so much. Tyrone, good to see you. 60 plus. Last of my kin, CJ, thank you guys for being here. Appreciate you. Jovan, good to see you as well. Who else did I see? Mr. Icon, Dorian, Frigga, good to see you all. Thank you so much. T Davis, I see you. Philroy, we got the homie Alib is back. Thank you so much for being here and holding it down. Screaming Monkey, Chill Spot. Who else did I see? We already got my man Terrence. Thank you so much for being here, guys. Appreciate you. Taz, what is up? Marley, appreciate you. Poor man, I see you. Andrew, good to see you. And Talented One, Delayla, hello. And shout out to everyone that has made it out tonight. Guys, I really do appreciate it. All right. So let's see. We got Frigga here with the first comment. Good evening, Ian fam. How y'all doing? Listen, feeling good, feeling great, feeling good. How are you? Thank you so much for the support. And all right. Y'all have been harassing me about this. And of course, Anthony's been up there with them too about this rap beef. Listen. First and foremost, let me make it very clear. This channel is not about politics. It is not about, cultural stuff per se. It's a movie and TV channel. But I also run this channel. So I can talk about whatever I want, and we're going to talk about Kendrick and Drake just for a moment. So let me just say this. I am not a hip hop connoisseur. Okay. I'm not one of those people that can go all in depth and tell you back in 1980 something, this when Run DMC did that. That's not my lane. Okay. That's why I'm not in that space. I, just like many other people out there, am a fan. Okay. I'm a fan of the genre. I listen to rap. I listen to hip hop. I'm in it. Okay. I, like many other people, enjoy a good rap beef. Okay. I like good rap beef when two talented lyricists go back, or MCs go back and forth, and they push each other and they bring representation and attention to the genre. Now, what I am not a fan of, and I want to make sure I make this clear, I'm not a fan of when things go beyond the music. So when it comes to violence, when it comes to fighting, shooting and stuff, I'm not here for that, and I don't endorse it. Okay, I am here for the jokes. I am here for the lyricism. I am here for the funny shots, whatever. I'm here for the entertainment of it all. Now, in history, we have had some visceral beefs. Okay, Tupac and Biggie, classic. LL Cool J, yikes. My personal favorite, yes, I know we got Nas and Jay-Z and all that with the ether. I know. One of the hardest disses I've ever heard to this day is Ice Cube, No Vaseline. Like that right there. I wasn't even in NWA, and I was sitting here like, if he said that, I would have been like, I quit. I just quit. Right? But when it comes to like the Kendrick versus Drake situation, the closest beef that I could maybe compare it to, and obviously this is a different thing. So don't come in here saying, E-Man, they're not the same. I'm literally telling you they're not the same. But the closest I can liken it to was 50 Cent versus Ja Rule. Now, it was a little one-sided. It was a little lopsided, but the reason why I'm comparing that to that beef is because it was so entertaining. The 50 Cent versus Ja Rule thing, when that was happening, it was ridiculously funny because Ja Rule was coming at 50 Cent and he had some shots. But 50 just dominated him in so many different ways that it was barely even a competition. 50 came and destroyed that man's career. Okay. Now, I'm not saying that's what happened in this. I'm just saying from a fan's perspective, I had a fun time when Ja Rule thought he could say something and 50 come out with Wankster or whatever and just abolish him. Right. Okay. But let's stick to the subject. Drake, and I want to be very clear, I'm a fan of both. So don't come in here, E-Man, you biased. Yeah, I'm biased because I like both of them. I got Drake in my playlist. Okay. Listen, both of them are in my workout playlist. Okay. So I got back to back and I got Be Humble. I got both of them in my playlist. So I'm not playing favorites like some people I've seen online. Some people don't like the truth. We're not going to call out no names though. So I like Kendrick and I like Drake. I would say that Drake, in my opinion, has always been a great overall entertainer / rapper. I would also acknowledge that Drake lost his beef against Pusha T. Pusha T literally pushed this man into a corner. He brought up some truths about Adonis, and he had some lines in there that it was not a good look for Drake. So even though Drake was very entertaining, he could not handle the lyricism of Pusha T. So I believe he lost that match against Pusha T. But I still believe Drake is one of those people. I've always called him like the McDonald's of rap. He will chuck out music like a factory. And guess what? Even if it's not good, you still gonna eat it. It don't matter. And Drake is extremely versatile. A guy that can sing and rap at the same time. You cannot discount this man's talent. He might go down probably as a top 10. I'm being conservative here. Top 10 rapper of all time. Maybe by the time his career is done. I'm just saying, there's possible. When it comes to Kendrick is no slouch. I would not say that Kendrick is on the same stardom level as Drake, but lyrically, this man is a Pulitzer Prize winner. This guy, like, Kendrick is mean with the pen. So when it comes to this beef specifically, I know I'm not going to give you the full history because they went back and forth so much. It's hard to keep up. But I remember that, when Kendrick made that first line about forget the big three, and he was referring to how people say J. Cole, Drake, and Kendrick are the big three in rap. And he was like, yo, forget the big three. It's just Big Me. Listen, that's fair game. That is fair game in the rap game. Because if you don't believe in yourself, who else will? Right? So that's number one in hip hop and rap, period. I mean, T.I. came out and was like, yo, I'm the king of the South. Who was going to challenge him? Now it's up to y'all to knock him down, right? So I had no problem with that. What was that? Like That? Is that what the Future song, if I'm not mistaken? So then Drake came out with his diss. He had a couple. Did the push-ups. I like push-ups. I thought push-ups was tough. I got push-ups in my playlist. Push-ups was nice. Drake threw his shots in there, but he was throwing shots at everybody, right? He was throwing shots all around. And it's kind of what you have to do when you're on top. When you are somebody that's on the top, which Drake is, or was, whatever, you have to, everybody gonna come at you. He did his push-ups. And then what else he do? Tailor-made, right? Freestyle. And then Family Matters. Now, Kendrick came out with that Euphoria. And let me be very clear. I already know, because there's going to be some Drake fans, but Kendrick, he just said what everyone said. So who in rap and hip hop don't do that? Let me give you my philosophy about that. I know that Kendrick has basically repeated things that other rappers have already said. Picasso, the artist, is quoted as saying, good artists copy, great artists steal. Right? Rappers, not all, rappers have ghostwriters. Comedians steal other jokes. It's all part of the game. It's not something that's uncommon. However, originality gets bonus points, in my opinion. If you can be original, if you can come off the dome with stuff, man, you getting bonus points. But I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh my gosh, you said something someone else said, because it's not about what you say. It's about how you say it. And at the end of the day, especially when I'm judging, and I think this might be the way people judge it as well, when we're looking at who wins a rap beef, who wins, like who's the actual winner of a rap beef or not, it's usually the effect of the crowd. It's how the crowd is affected. It's the crowd, the audience. They're the ones that actually say that person won or not. I mean, whether y'all go see the underground rap battles or, social media, that's how you can determine who wins a battle or not. Jay-Z, in my opinion, is a superior rapper entertainer than Nas. But in my opinion, and I think most people agree, Nas decimated Jay-Z in their beef. I believe Drake is a better artist than Pusha T, but Pusha T destroyed Drake in the beef. So it's one of those things that you have to look at the output, the end result. You have to take your fandom out of it. And when I look at Drake versus Kendrick, and I look at the fact that, yeah, Drake has some push-ups, solid. Family Matters, great shots. Euphoria, great. 616 in LA, not so much. Like it was a miss for me. But Meet the Grams, it's not to say that Meet the Grams was the best thing we had ever heard. You have to look at the other factors involved. Drake dropped Family Matters, and we was like, oh man, all right, let's go ahead and digest. What? Kendrick dropped another one. We never knew Kendrick could chuck out stuff so fast. That right there, the timing of it, and the fact that it does kind of sort of address Family Matters, whether he knew about it or not, it doesn't matter. Again, it's about the delivery. It's about all the other stuff. I gotta say Kendrick won. Because to me, the timing, the quantity, and the quality overall. And I'm sorry, even that Hard Part 6, that Drake dropped, my man pre-quit. He pre-quit. How do you sit here and be like, yeah, I'm going to come in here and I'm going to destroy you. And by the way, I'm not a pedophile and I didn't do this and I didn't do that. But you know what? This was fun, but I'm going to leave and go home now. What? Nah, man. And I think at the end of the day, we've all learned that J. Cole was clearly the real winner because he bowed out early. He knew he didn't want this smoke. He didn't want to get into all this chatty, catty, gossipy stuff. My man is out there chilling on his bike somewhere in New York. I don't know. He won. But if we're talking about Drake versus Kendrick, I got to give it to Kendrick. And I don't think it's very close. I don't think so. At least from a quality, quantity. And it's not, I'm not even trying to add in the whole Metro Boomin thing because it's hard to get BBL Drizzy out my head right now. It's very hard. It's a catchy tune. And whenever you sit here and look at social media and you have people making diss songs about Drake on this free beat, who does that? And the fact that people to this day are still sea-walking to not like us. Y'all not playing Family Matters in the clubs. You're not. You're just not. It's a good song, but that's not happening. People are dancing to Not Like Us and BBL Drizzy right now. That's what's getting the spins. So I don't really care what side of the aisle you on with it. You could be a fan of whoever, but history is going to say Kendrick won, and I'm okay with that. Anyway, all right, guys. So listen, y'all asked me for this, okay? Y'all asked me for my thoughts on this, so that's why I took it. Literally every day, somebody was like, "Are you talking about this on the live? Are you gonna do it?" That's why we made this. Okay, just don't be bullying me into stuff. But we had to talk about it because I did make my video. So make sure y'all go watch them videos too, just in case. Just in case. But y'all let me know, what did you think about the whole Kendrick versus Drake situation? Maybe you saw something that I didn't. Maybe you felt maybe you had a different perspective. Maybe you, I don't know. Like, I don't know. Whatever you think, please feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Let's see. Natalie, 11 minutes late. Did Mackie rap yet? He's Tupac. Oh my God. I'm going to leave that alone. I'm going to leave that alone. Thank you so much. Appreciate you, Natalie. I'm going to leave that alone. Let's see. Anthony, what you got? When Magneto shut up Professor X yesterday, he straight up said, "We don't want to hear you say mutant no more." Thank you so much for that. That's pretty accurate. Kay, what you got? Hardest beef ever. Thugnificent versus Granddad. Stop it. That's funny. That's a nice Boondocks. That's a good Boondocks one. Thank you so much. Let's see. Natalie, again, great job, E-Man. You have the range to discuss all things entertainment and still give us the reason. It's just Big E, fam, in the chat. Thank you so much. I appreciate y'all. Listen, I want to stay in my lanes, but sometimes things leak out into the culture, But anyway, thank you. I appreciate that. Frigga, what you got? Honestly, I don't care for rap beef. That's cool. It feels like that's all they do. Like C-Rock said, Bruce Springsteen and Sting aren't at each other's throats. Yeah, and I think that's fair, but like they're also in a different genre of music. Like, and maybe somebody can correct me. But don't they be having country singers having beefs too? Like, I don't know if y'all listen to country music. I don't. But I could have sworn country music, don't they be having some beef sometimes too? Maybe? I don't know. But anyway, but listen, it's part of the genre. And it's not for everybody. It doesn't have to be for everybody. And that's totally fine. Don't feel like, you're not a real hip hop rap, fan if you don't like it. But I think it's just one of those things that it's part of it, and it is what it is. But thank you so much. Anthony, again, thank you so much, man. You said here Drake might get sued by the Pac fam. They said they might not take him to court over the AI Tupac, but he must give money to them, how he did it, and also who helped them, but might is not will. Well, I didn't really like the whole AI thing. Yeah, the AI using, first of all, Snoop is still alive. Like, you couldn't get Snoop to do, like, that was just weird to me. Like, how you gonna AI somebody that's actually still alive? I don't know. I thought it was kind of whack, but the rest of the song I enjoyed, but I didn't like the whole AI thing. But thank you for that. Poor man, Kendrick won the battle, Cole won the war. A bronze and no scars. I'd take it. Past me my coconut water. Yes, facts. Great one. That yes. Great way to sum that up. Yes. I see. Oh, I'm gonna read the comments later. Let's hey. I ain't gonna name no names, but if y'all want to debate this, leave the comments. Leave a comment. I'll comment back. I'll come back. Well, I take that back. Leave a comment on the replay. Because I can't respond to y'all directly on this. So leave a comment on the replay and we can debate. We can talk. We can go at it. If you want to lose, that's fine. Whatever. It's all good. I'm messing with y'all. Poor man, thank you so much. The Beatles had beef on wax with John and Ono. Oh, see, I never followed the Beatles, but there you go. See, beef is universal, I guess. Hey, it is what it is. All right, guys. I know that took some time, but again, that's what the people asked for. All right, so let's jump into our first topic here. Well, second topic at this point. Bundles. So I have told you guys for a long time that streaming is going to get more expensive. We've seen Amazon Disney Plus, HBO Max, everybody keeps Netflix, all of them keep raising their prices. And the only way that they've tried to maybe offset that is by giving us more ads. And it's pretty much starting to come back to like regular TV / cable, right? But I've also told you guys that like at some point, there's going to be a limit because everybody's not going to be able to keep up. You're going to have maybe 5 streaming networks in the next 5 years that can even last, because it doesn't make them a lot of money, especially if you don't have all the subscribers. And it's hard to keep up because you have to keep on putting a ton of money to make content and hope people will not only subscribe, but stay there. That's the real challenge. So you got to invest hundreds of millions, maybe even billions, maybe get some subscribers and hope they don't just hurry up and cancel in the next 30 days after they watch your show or a movie or whatever. So it's always been a very contentious and difficult venture that, a lot of these studios are still trying to pursue, but it's still an uphill battle. But it looks like something just happened that I did not think would happen anytime soon. And it looks like we actually got a deal, because Disney and HBO Max, or WB, clearly they're rivals, but it looks like they are coming together like the Crips and the Bloods. Boy, love to see it, right? It says here the companies announced a new streaming bundle comprising Disney Plus, Hulu, and Max will be available this summer in the US. There's no pricing info or specific launch date at this point. Disney and WB said the bundle will be available for purchase on any of the 3 streaming platform websites and offered as both an ad-supported and ad-free plan. The apps and content from each company will still remain separate. This is pretty interesting. I always thought that at some point the smaller companies would just get absorbed by the bigger companies. I don't know, Paramount, let's buy out Peacock or something, or Amazon, let's buy out, Paramount. I don't know, whatever. I thought that would make more sense in terms of how they could add on to their content, grow, and they could still compete with like the big 3, big 5 companies, streaming companies. But I did not see this. I did not see one of the big 3, big 4 partnering together. That to me, I feel like could be a game changer if the price is right. Because if you sit here and tell me you can get HBO Max, which is, I think the cheapest plan is like $16. If you can get HBO Max, if you can get Hulu, which I think the cheapest is like $5, $6, something like that a month. Disney Plus on top of that, which, what is the cheapest for that? $8, something like that. If you tell me you can get all of that for $19.99, let's just throw out a number because there are no numbers right now. If it's cheaper to get the bundle and you're getting way more, that's hard to argue against, because clearly they're going to make it where if you only have the separate stuff, it's going to be more expensive, because it makes no sense to bundle it if it's going to be more expensive. So if this bundle is indeed cheaper, I like that idea, because that's a benefit for us. That's kind of what we've always wanted anyway, because I don't want to have to pay $15 over here and $10 over here and $11. No, that's too much. Because at the end of the month, you looking at your bills like, yo, one of these gonna have to go. But here's the interesting thing. If they bundle this stuff, and yes, it is technically going to be a little bit better for us from a content perspective, I want you to also think about the fact that it's also going to be harder to cancel. And I'm not saying you won't be able to cancel. I'm just saying it's going to be harder to walk away from that bundle because you're getting 3 times the content for less money. It's one of the main reasons why it's harder for people to cancel Netflix. It's hard to cancel Netflix because Netflix got so much content. Like, why, but it's easy to cancel Apple, for example. No shot at Apple, but I'm just saying, if you only are interested in 1 or 2 shows, you log in, you do your little free trial, and you done. It's easy to be like, I don't need this no more. Bye. But if it's grouped up and you get a whole bunch more stuff, you might mess around and stay longer, which means they'll make more money, but we'll get more content. So I can see that actually being not a bad thing. So I don't know. You guys let me know. Do you like this idea of them coming together and bringing this as one bundle, or are you more interested in watching these things separately? Maybe it's worth it for you. Maybe you think that, if I keep these separately, I can cancel things when I feel like it. Maybe that works for your budget. Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Shar, you did. Okay, Shar, I remember you did say that you was going to the show. Okay. So you said you saw Monique on Saturday at the Cat Williams show. She started with FU, Tyler Perry, and Oprah. So that one-sided beef continues. Cat was funny though. Well, at least you got half your money's worth, Yeah, that's sad. And what saddens me in all this is that in your entire comment, and correct me if I'm wrong, and I haven't heard this from anybody else. I haven't seen a trend on nowhere. I haven't seen it on social media, nothing. Nobody's talking about Monique's jokes. Nobody's saying, man, Monique said this one funny thing. Y'all got to go see it. That is disappointing to not hear. It's disappointing not to hear that. I don't know. Shar, did she have any memorable jokes, or was the cussing bomb the most interesting thing? Like, I don't know. That's messed up. That is messed up. But thank you so much for keeping me posted on that. I appreciate you. All right. Let's move on. We got some updates for different TV shows here. And one of them is for Shogun. I will admit I have still not finished Shogun. I'm on episode 6, I think. So I got only a couple more left that I got to hurry up and watch. But the series has ended. The series has been probably one of the best TV shows for FX, the network. It has definitely been something that they have. It's their crown jewel right now. Like, they are really getting high ratings. They're getting high reviews, positive reviews for it. And yeah, Shogun has definitely been a success for them. But in addition to that, the question has always been like, well, what are y'all going to do with Shogun? Because, according to the creators, the showrunners, they were like, man, we saw how far this was going to go. We're only going to stop it after like one book or something like that. I don't know the books and how they line up with the show. But they said that, where it ends, that's where it ends. But listen, money talks. Money talks. And because money talks, these studios are not going to just let that ride. So the question of whether or not a season 2 will happen is currently on the table. It says here, Sonata, the main actor, has signed what sources say is an if-come deal that would see the series star and producer return should FX successfully jump through the multiple hoops required for a second season of the limited series. That means if FX can sort things out behind the scenes and formally greenlight a second season, Sonata would return to the franchise. Whew, man, that must be nice, first of all. So basically, this feels like in the NBA, how they be having them option deals. Like you could come back if you want to, but you also got the option not to, if you want to. But I like the fact that is that he signed that deal, at least reportedly anyway. I think that's pretty cool. But I am very, very iffy. I don't like it when shows only come back because they want the money. Don't do the cash grabs. Come back if you're like, yo, we got a great story. We know what's going to happen. This was all part of the plan. Do that. I'm cool if you do that. But don't come back just be like, oh, word? Oh, we made money off that? Hey, run it back, y'all. No, don't do that. Because now you might have to deal with a different writer, different showrunner, different directors, and now you're going to have a different vibe. And so I'm just apprehensive of it. That's all. I'm just apprehensive. But I don't know. You guys let me know. How do you feel about a second season? I know some of you guys have actually finished it. How do you feel about a second season of Shogun? Is it needed? Do you want to see more? Or do you think that they should leave it alone? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Anthony, another one here. About to go back to prep. Remember, a rap beef is nothing more than two men writing angry poems about each other until we meet again. Thank you so much for that, Anthony. I appreciate you. All right, let's go on. We got some more TV updates with The Office. So The Office has been probably one of my I love The Office. That show has definitely been one of my funny all-time shows. But it did take a dip. It took a dip, and this is probably the only reason I can't put it as one of the best shows ever, because when Steve Carell left, that show did suffer. It took a dip. I'll just say that. It took a dip. So it was definitely one of those shows that, like, it took a while to warm up. I would not say that you watch the first episode, you'll love it. It's one of those shows that you do have to kind of stick with it, because I think the strength that it has is you start to get to know the individuals over time, and that's where a lot of the humor starts to come into play. Either way, I did think that the show ended very it ended on the right note. I got a little sentimental, but it felt like a nice fitting for the show to end the way that it did. But the question of, like, do they want to do a spinoff? Do they want to do a sequel, to the series, has always been up there. But it looks like we do have some information, because the original showrunner did say that he wanted to do a spinoff, but we never really knew what it was about, how it was going to work. But it looks like they got the green light, and it looks like we have some more information about it here. So it says here that The Office will be returning on the streaming platform Peacock. The sequel series will follow an all-new cast of characters in a different profession. The Untitled series will be a new show, but it's set in the same universe as The Office. New show, it's coming from the same showrunner and the creator of the American version. It says here on the log line, the documentary crew that immortalized Dunder Mifflin's Scranton branch is in search of a new subject when they discover a dying historic Midwestern newspaper, and the publisher trying to revive it with volunteer reporters. All right. So definitely sounds interesting to see how this will be. I don't know if I might have to let it rock for a little bit. I don't know if I'll be jumping immediately into it. I like the idea of having volunteer reporters. That to me sounds like they're going to have a lot of cameos come in, which can work. That can be interesting. I'd like to just see, like, how does a newspaper survive? Like, y'all used to be great, but now it's a little different. Like, what are you exactly going to do to keep up? I also wonder, since it's in the same universe, and if they are a newspaper that prints paper, do they get their paper from Dunder Mifflin? Like that'll be kind of interesting. So I'm almost positive that they're gonna have some of the people from the office actually come in and guest star. That would be my guess there. But yeah, this would be interesting, but it's nothing that, even as a fan of The Office, I don't see myself jumping to go see this. But I'll be somewhat interested. But anyway, you guys let me know. Have you watched The Office? If you haven't watched The Office, are you willing to give it a shot? I would recommend it. I'd recommend it, but like I said, it's a slow start. So, if you're not busting up laughing immediately, that's kind of expected. Like, give it time. But I don't know. If you have watched The Office, are you interested in this spinoff? Does it sound interesting based off of what I just told you guys about it? Whether you do, whether you don't, whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. So yeah, as for so I gave you the individual stuff, but we do have it looks like this month we're going to be cooking with some TV stuff, because a couple of things here are coming our way just in the month of June alone. We got The Bear season 3. I've already told y'all The Bear is a fantastic show. Make sure you check that out. The Boys season 4. Oh, we definitely gonna be covering The Boys. That we have to. That is going to be great. House of them Dragons. We got them dragons coming. Come on now. Team Black all day. Always bet on Black. And then Star Wars, The Acolyte. Now, I am excited for The Acolyte. I like the idea of going back in time, dealing with the Jedi of the past, and doing all that stuff. I like that. And we got ninja Jedi. Come on, man. Like I'm set for all of that. So it looks like June is going to be very busy. And TV is going to be cooking for a while. So I like what we're doing with that. All right, so there's more stuff. Oh, okay, we got to talk about this. Gen V is the spinoff from The Boys. And I thought it was a great show. I thought Gen V was a very, very entertaining show, very solid show. I had a very good time with it. I was a little nervous because it was a spinoff, but it stuck the landing to me. But as we talked about a little while back, I want to say back in April or so, the show suffered a very terrible loss when they lost Chance Perdomo. He played Andre on the show. Great kid, from what I could tell. But he unfortunately passed away way too young. I think he was like only 27 or so. In a motorcycle accident. But of course, this really led to the question, which I don't think people were like, you better hurry up and give us Gen V, and but the question eventually was going to come up of, what are y'all going to do? What are y'all going to do when this actor has passed away? And the Gen V showrunners and producers, they have responded and put out a note about how they feel like they're going to proceed after the passing of Chance. And they went ahead and basically said that his character, Andre, will not be recast for season 2. And this is from the producers. They said here, as we continue to navigate the tragic loss of Chance Perdomo, everyone at Gen V is determined to find the best way to pay respect to his memory. We won't be recasting a role because no one can replace Chance. Instead, we have been taking the time and space to recraft our season 2 storylines. As we begin production in May, we will honor Chance and his legacy this season. So, Of course, this is very, very reminiscent of another tragic loss with Chadwick Boseman when he passed away, and Marvel making a similar decision not to recast. So, you know, I have a mixed opinion about what they're trying to do. First of all, I will still go ahead and say I reject the idea that not recasting preserves a legacy. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. That's just not true. Or when you don't recast, you put a time limit on how long that character and maybe even that actor are going to stay relevant, because at some point people will move on and forget. Recasting is always a constant reminder for people to remember not only a character, but all the actors that also played that character as well. There's a reason why, even though Christopher Reeve played Superman back in the 70s and 80s, like, people still talk about him today, thanks to, you know, Henry Cavill. Just the fact that Superman is still going, people still think about Christopher Reeve. So the idea of preserving the legacy and all of that stuff, in my opinion, is a flawed logic in Hollywood and in culture, because people that I still don't understand why people don't get it. Y'all don't talk about people that have not been recast. It just does not happen. Y'all don't talk about them characters or those actors compared to how you talk about, think about, have reverence for the characters that have been recast over time. So that's my piece on that. I'm staying consistent with that. Recasting is not a bad thing. With that said, this character is a completely brand new character. I wouldn't say that this character has the history, the heritage of a Black Panther, of a Batman, of Superman, etc., James Bond, whatever. Chance did very good work with this character. I think he did extremely great work with this. I really enjoyed his character in this. I do think it does his character a disservice not to continue, but at the same time, because this character is new, I never really had expectations for his character. See, when I'm thinking of someone like T'Challa or Black Panther in that regard, I do have expectations. It's the same way if, hey, we got a James Bond, I got expectations for a James Bond. I don't have expectations with this character. And because of that, I feel like they have a little more leeway to do what they want with it. But I'm still a little saddened and disappointed that this is kind of like where they're going with it. And here's the thing, I say that with all the respect to his friends, family, cast, crew, all of those people that were close to him. I'm just of the opinion that when you recast and when you keep that character and that actor in the public memory for as long as you can, that does a better service to the actor and the character than just not recasting, than just stopping the character cold, maybe putting a nice little couple words in the end credits, and then that's it. Because the world is going to keep moving. The world is going to move past that. Nobody's going to keep going back to that one episode where you show that nice little reverence and that's it. That's not really going to happen. So, you know, it's an unfortunate situation. It's a difficult situation. I know it's obviously very sensitive for the cast and crew, family, friends, and all that. But, you know, it is what it is. So I don't know. What do you guys think? Do you think that they should recast his character? Do you agree with the producers? Maybe because the character's so new, maybe there's no need to recast. Maybe they have that leeway. Maybe it depends on the story they want to tell. Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. All right, Ali, what you got to say here? I can't with new shows. They're too quick to cancel. Yeah. I think you're referring to the Office spinoff. But yeah, I think I'm kind of the same way. Like, what was it? There was a show. Oh, I probably should have put this in the updates, but I don't think anybody even cared. There was a show on Apple called I think it was called Constellation or something like that. But I was watching like 1 or 2 episodes of it, and it was just it was a little boring. Interesting concept, but it was a little boring. Just got the news today they canceled the show. And I'm like, see, like I almost invested my time into this. And that's my fear. I hate having to invest my time into something only for it to be canceled. That bothers me because nobody wants their time wasted. So, I feel you on that. Frigga, what you got? Interview with the Vampire premieres this Sunday. Good. Thank you so much for that. I think they're on season 2, right? If I'm not mistaken. Thank you so much for that. All right, let's move on. All right. We have a Vin Diesel update. Y'all boy Vin has been busy out there. We already know he's got the final Fast and Furious movie, Fast 11. I believe they said that won't come out until 2026. But my man's been busy. He's doing some work on one of his other franchises. And apparently it is probably a franchise I've really enjoyed, and that is Riddick. So we have an update on Riddick. And it says here, Vin Diesel is set to begin production on the 4th film in the Riddick franchise, Riddick Furia, this August. It will reunite Diesel with franchise stalwart David Twohy, who will once again write and direct. The official synopsis reads, Riddick finally returns to his homeworld, a place he barely remembers, and one he fears might be left in ruins. But there he finds other Furians fighting for their existence against a new monster. And some of these Furians are more like Riddick than he could have ever imagined. Okay. I always thought that Pitch Black was one of Vin Diesel's best movies. Like, I absolutely loved Pitch Black. And I liked the character that he portrayed. He didn't have a lot of lines, and it worked. It just worked. He was the strong, silent type. I really like the whole concept with his eyes and how he, could see in the dark and everything. And now, and I can't even remember. So I might have to actually do a rewatch just because. I don't remember really liking the last one. Like, I don't think it was bad. That's when he became like the king or emperor or whatever. I thought it was okay, but I'm a little nervous. If I have to be honest, I'm a little nervous. I'm a little nervous because the Vin Diesel that was doing the Riddick movies back then, I don't believe that's the Vin Diesel that we have right now. I'll be honest. I'm nervous about ego. I'm nervous about Vin Diesel and potential ego where he makes Riddick talk more. He starts cracking jokes. I don't want him to bring that fast, furious energy into this franchise. That's what I'm worried about. I'm worried that Riddick is going to start saying some corny lines like Furians or our family. I don't know. Like, don't do it. Please just don't do it. Furian family is not something I need to hear when I go to a Riddick movie. Is everybody gonna have the shiny eyeballs? Like, what? I don't know. I don't know. So I'm excited because I like the franchise. I'm nervous because we got the new Vin Diesel coming in. We got the Vin Diesel fresh off of franchise, fresh off of making a lot of, well, not really making that much money with the more recent movies, but I'm nervous. But I don't know. How are you guys feeling? Do you like the new description of how this Riddick movie sounds? Is this something you're looking forward to? Or maybe you're nervous like me. I don't know. Whatever you think, please let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. Quiet one, what you got? Agree with you, E-Man. We still debate the best Jokers till this day after Heath Ledger's passing because of all the other actor portrayals of the character. Facts. Facts. You know who we don't debate? The $6 million man. And if you're under 30, you might not know who I'm even talking about because the role's never been recast. Which is my point. You know? Like, if you're under 30 without Googling, do you know who the $6 million man is? Do you know the actor that played him? Will the average 30-year-old and younger know who these people are? Probably not. Probably not. That's my guess. But anyway, let's move on. We got some more movies. Oh, I'm dumb. I'm like, why am I not unclicking? There we go. Thank you, Quiet One. I appreciate you. Yo, somebody who is taking over the Hollywood landscape right now is Sydney Sweeney. This girl, I mean, she's doing her thing, you know, from Euphoria, and I'm sure from other stuff as well. What is it? Anyone But You? I didn't watch it. And recently in Madam Web. She was also in Immaculate. I have not seen Immaculate yet, even though I should. She's really been doing a good job in terms of not just being in a bunch of roles. What I appreciate about Sydney Sweeney is that she's also starting to become an executive producer. So in a recent interview when she was talking about working with doing Madam Web, she was like, yeah, I only signed on to that so that I can make and build a relationship with the Sony execs, so that way I can start making the movies that I want to make. And I was like, yo, that's how you hustle. Get your foot in the door and network and hustle the game. And she is doing that very, very well. So I thought that was pretty cool about her on a professional level. But it looks like here that she is actually doing another biopic. And it is actually going to be about a famous boxer. It says here, Sydney Sweeney will hit the ring to portray the iconic fighter Christy Martin in an untitled biopic. The movie chronicles Martin's journey to becoming the female Rocky, elevating herself through the ranks to become one of the most recognizable fighters of the 90s and the first female boxer to sign with polarizing promoter Don King. The movie is expected to tackle her rise to fame, meeting her manager and later husband, Jim Martin, personal demons, and a near fatal incident, all as she ascended to becoming a welterweight champion. Wow. All right. So I will just say this. I don't follow boxing actively, and I'll admittedly the only female boxer I ever followed was Layla Ali because she's great. But I've never heard of her. I've never heard of Christy Martin. So this is one of the reasons why I enjoy some biopics, because I get to learn these things, you know, about these, you know, people that were pioneers in the sport or whatever. So I'm liking the fact that, you know, I have an opportunity to learn about this. And And I mean, come on now, who doesn't like to see Don King on TV just at all, right? But so I do like, or in this movie, I guess. But I think what's more interesting about this that I really like is, did y'all know that Sydney Sweeney is actually like a fighter? Like, don't let the blonde eyes and the blonde hair and the blue eyes fool you. Look, she used to MMA and boxing, all that stuff for years. Like, this is not her first rodeo in this stuff, which I thought was fascinating. And you can even see here on this video on her IG, like, she used to do this. Okay. This ain't just like, oh, I'm training for a role. Like, no, she actually used to fight for real. So the fact that she's bringing this level of competitive nature and this her experience to the big screen, that actually gets me kind of excited for this, because it's clear, she might not need a stunt double, so I think that'd be really cool to see something like that. And I, again, just to learn that story. So I think that's pretty dope. So I'm actually interested in seeing this. And like I said, I do want to learn a little bit more about it. I had accidentally Googled Christy Martin's story, and then I saw one or two things. I was like, because it looked like it was a spoiler, and I was like, I don't want to know, but it looks like she had a crazy life. So I am very interested in seeing that, and I like the fact that Sydney Sweeney is going to be playing this role. But you guys, let me know. Are you interested in this? Does this have your will you go to the theaters for this? Maybe you'll wait. Does Sydney Sweeney being in this move you at all? Did you even know that she could do MMA and fight and all that stuff? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. You know what? Since we unboxing, let's stay unboxing. So Rocky has been probably one of those iconic films. Sly Stallone doing this role obviously was a pinnacle of his career. I mean, yes, he's got a ton of other movies, but man, when Sly's career is all said and done, Rocky is probably going to be at the very top of the best things that he's ever done. And I mean, I've loved almost all the Rockies. I'm trying to think which one was the not good one. Was it 4 or 5? I think it was 5 when he fought Tommy, the street fight. I think it wasn't it? It was 5, right? Somebody can correct me. When he fought Tommy, the street fight, that was whack. Rocky 1, it was good for what it was. Rocky 2, probably one of my favorites. Was 3? No, 4 was Drago, right? See, they run all together for me, so that's why I have a hard time. But I want to say 4 was Drago. No, or was that 3? Which one was Drago? Y'all let me know which one was Drago. Because I know it wasn't in 2 because he was still fighting Apollo. But I want to say 4 is Apollo, is Drago. The Hulk Hogan, Mr. T one, not so much. Still better than 5. That was still better than 5 though, because Mr. T, I'll take it. But man, the Drago one is a classic. Like, I don't think any of them, I don't think they could beat that. Just throw the damn towel. And Apollo. Woo, man. But anyway, Rocky has been fantastic. Okay, it has just been a fantastic franchise. But I don't know if you guys know about it, but like the story behind Rocky, in terms of how Sly was, able to write it, direct it, and get this movie made, like that was a journey. Rocky almost didn't get made. That almost just did not happen. So because of that, that story has been such an inspirational story on a Hollywood side of things, not Rocky's story, but Sly's story, that now apparently we are going to get a movie about that. It says here, Peter Farrelly, who did Green Book, is set to direct a film inspired by the story of how Sylvester Stallone came to make his seminal 1976 boxing film, Rocky. The film is titled I Play Rocky. It never names Stallone directly, but the film follows a struggling actor with a partially paralyzed face and a speech impediment who writes a script that a big movie studio wants to buy, but he refuses to sell it unless he gets to play the lead. Turning down an offer, this is the log line, turning down an offer of life-changing money, he instead works for pennies to get the movie made with himself in the starring role. Biggest box office hit in 1976, got 10 Academy Award nominations, and it won Best Picture. And it says, unlike the unknown Stallone starring in Rocky, Pete will probably be conducting a worldwide search to discover another unknown actor who just needs one shot in I Play Rocky to show the world what he can do. So that's actually pretty interesting that they're going to get somebody who's an unknown who can do it. And of course, you're probably wondering, like I am, what about Sly? It says here, we'll also see if Stallone becomes more involved in this project. So for me, first of all, I think it's kind of wild that this project has even started without Sly. Like, how are y'all just doing this, talking about this, and Sly is not immediately on board? I'm just saying, and we've seen and heard how Sly feels a certain type of way. Rocky is his baby, the whole franchise. And even when Ryan Coogler and them and Michael B. Jordan started doing the Creed spinoffs and everything, listen, Sly was not happy. He was not happy that Adonis, whose story was always to get out of the shadow of Apollo and Creed and his dad, Apollo and Rocky, ends up getting out the shadow, and Rocky didn't like it. Sly didn't like it. I mean, whatever the case is. Anyway, I personally think that they definitely should get Sly in on this. I mean, you're making a movie. I don't want to say a parody, but it's basically Sly Stallone. Partially paralyzed face, speech impediment. We know who it is. We know. Come on now. Just, hey, listen. Make sure, throw him in there. Throw Sly Stallone. Give him a cameo. You know what I'm saying? Give him a producer credit. Do the right thing. That's all I'm saying. Just do the right thing. Put Sly in there. You're not gonna sit here and make a whole movie out of my life, my struggle, and you're not gonna call me. You're not gonna be like, yo, come and get this writer's credit. Come and get this producer. You're not gonna put me involved at all. Come on now. Anyway, what do y'all think about this biopic idea? Again, not about Rocky, but the making of Rocky. Do you like where they're going with this? Do you like this idea? Does this sound like something you would tune in and go? Well, I'm assuming this will go to theaters. Would you go to the theater to go check this out? Especially with the fact that they are using an unknown. Whatever you think, let me know in the comments down below. All right. Oh, snaps. Hold on now. Oh my God. No. Where is she at? Kiki, where you at? Is Kiki here? Did we see Kiki here? Is it Kiki? I need you to check in. Are you here? I don't know if she's here or not. Oh my God. Kiki, I have to send you love. Thank you for the $150 Cash App. And you say here for Team Kendrick. There she is. Kiki, I'm gonna do something that I've probably never done before. You say you still awake. Ma'am, you just bought some airtime. What you want to talk about? What you want to talk about? Because we just gonna talk. You done bought some airtime. Yeah, this gonna be the Kiki show. I don't know what else, how else I can express my thanks to you. Because y'all, whew. Listen, I know everybody got their own faiths, beliefs, all of that, but sometimes you just got to understand. You just gonna get blessed and you don't even understand. Like my car got hit by a moving company just out of nowhere, right? And it was parked. Like I wasn't in it. They just couldn't drive. They damaged my car. Now the company paid for it. Fine. I mean, I was out of I couldn't use my car for like a week or two. Well, actually a month. But, made it work. But here's the crazy thing. I get my car back. Everything is looking great. I'm like, man, bumper looks good and all that. Like clockwork, check engine light comes on. When I tell you I had to sit here and be like, why? And I had to drop at least like $900 that I did not have. I don't have $900 like that. So, and I say that just because when you guys bless this channel, and I really do mean it, like y'all are blessing the channel, it does mean a lot. It really does mean a lot. So Kiki, thank you so much. And thank all of y'all for real. I don't come on here and tell y'all the personal stuff, but it does go to y'all. Don't know how much y'all help. Y'all don't know how much y'all. Oh, hold on. I'm sorry. You got to top. Okay. All right. Nah, hold on. I got you. Yeah. Okay. Because you done bought you some airtime today. All right, guys. It's Kiki time. So she want a Kobe update. What did Kobe do? Dang it. He did do something. I forgot. I'm going to get it. Kobe he's definitely getting. Oh, I got to tell. Okay. Story time. By my house, we got these 2 geese. These geese, they have this habit of flying and nesting in front of an apartment complex that's close to my house, right? So it's a couple blocks away, right? Or a couple houses down. This is right on my block that I walk Kobe up and down on, right? So we always walking up and down. The problem with these geese, and I don't know, y'all probably deal with geese, on the road when you're on the streets and stuff. Geese act like they own wherever they at. Like they gangster. If they want to go across the street, you wait for them. So the problem with these geese is they believe whatever side of the block that they own, because they own both sides of the block. They be like, no, this our block. This our block. What you gonna do? So I told you I'm a pacifist. I'm not here for the fights. I'm not here for the violence. I walk around. I see the geese on my side of the block. I'm like, Kobe, yo, we got to go to the other side. We go to the other side. I don't want no problems. It's gotten so bad that sometimes I'm thinking like, yo, y'all geese must be a couple because they always together. I'm thinking like, well, y'all making some babies, whatever. These mofos split up. They literally went on both sides of the block. Where am I supposed to go? So y'all gonna own both sides at the same time? Yes, I walked in the middle of the street. I had to. Where else was I gonna go? I had to go down the path so Kobe could do his business. Now, is Kobe any help? Absolutely not. He's sitting there like, I'm just gonna pee right here. Yup, gonna poop right there. What's that smell over there? I'm like, listen, we are in gang territory, and your head got to be on the swivel. Y'all know how this is. Whenever you be on a certain side of the town, you know you got to keep your head on the swivel because something could pop off. The other day, I'm walking with my wife, and as I'm walking down the street, I see the geese right there on the side. And I was like, yo, babe, we got to go to the other side of the street. Them geese are a problem. She was like, what you talking about? Man, them geese ain't gonna bother nobody. I'm like, Cherie, you see the geese. They got them 2 gang colors on. I don't want no problems while I'm walking Kobe. Because in the past, I ignored the geese. And as I was walking back home, they ran up on me. I don't know if y'all have ever been chased by a goose, but these geese, when they come up on you, that's what they do. It ain't no honk, honk, honk. No. That's what they hiss. I said, Cherie, listen, we're going to have to cross the street. She said, no, we're just going to go and walk the dog. Just be cool. Be cool. No eye contact. Keep moving. You not a threat. I said, Cherie, I swear if they hiss, I'm going to kick them in their neck. She said, no, they an endangered species. I said, yes, and I eat geese. Goose tastes good to me. You don't think I like them neck bones? But I listened to my wife. We walked past, no problems. I said, oh, Cherie, maybe they cool with you. I don't know what the deal is, but maybe they cool with you. I don't know. We walked past again, no problem. I was like, okay. This was cool. We good, clearly, because we walked past, back and forth, no problem. I said, all right, Cherie, you was right. You know, wifey's right. I guess all we got to do is just make no eye contact, mind our business, and we good. Bet. The next day, yesterday, walking with Kobe, I see the geese on the right side. I say, you know what? I'm going to stay on our side of the block. I'm going to take a stand. I live here. I pay taxes. We walk by. I see the geese. They see me. I don't care. I don't even look at them. I'm just walking through. We didn't stop, but we kept walking through. Nothing happened. Yes! I'm like, good stuff, Kobe. We good around here. This our block again. It's time to go back. As I'm walking back, this time I walk with Kobe on my left all the time. The geese looked at Kobe. Kobe don't pay them no mind because he don't keep his head on the swivel. I told you he you know, you ever bring like a friend from the suburbs into the hood and they just be sitting there like, oh, what's that? Are those firecrackers? That's Kobe, right? Kobe thinks those are firecrackers all the time. He don't pay no real attention. As we walking back, the goose sits there, looks at me, looks at Kobe, looks at me, and looks at Kobe, puts his wings up, and says, I was like, oh, Lord, Kobe, let's go. This mofo sat here and said, 1 second, I got to pee. I said, no, you don't. No, you don't. You gonna bring that pee with you, bro. This is not the time to pee as the goose is hissing at us and he throwing up his gang signs. Bro, you gonna get murdered. Let's go. Kobe almost got kidnapped because the goose made it about like maybe this close to us, about this close. But luckily, me and Kobe been training ever since he was a puppy. And Kobe knows when I stop, you stop. I told y'all Kobe biracial. So I've already taught him, no matter the situation, if you see me run, you run. Ain't no question, ain't no barking, ain't no nothing about. If I run that way, you run that way. I run that way, you run that way. So, I picked up the pace. I said, wait, now I can't go running because I look silly. I can't look silly, but I'm going to power walk my way over there. And Kobe picked up the pace and we was out of there. It has now been officially 3 years since we've been living under the terror of the geese. I have thought about protecting myself and bringing a weapon, but my wife keeps telling me that they're in danger. We're going to get a fine. I'm like, sound like Thanksgiving dinner to me. They're going to F around and find out. I don't know what to tell you. But I'm running out of options. I can only cross the street so many times. And Kobe is no help. I keep thinking to myself like, hey, man, you could use your chest. Say it with your chest and bark and scare them away. Not happening. Not happening. He don't do nothing. He just look at him like, oh, hi, Mr. Goose. What are you doing today? Nah, bro, don't talk to them. Don't talk to nobody that hiss at you, bro. What are you doing? I can't call the police. They good with the police. The police literally come in and be like, oh, hey, what's going on? And feed them bread. They got them on payroll. Geese lives don't matter to me. To me. Anyway, that's your Kobe update. Once again, Kiki, I want to thank you so much. I appreciate you more than you can ever understand. So thank you for that. I appreciate you. Hope that was something that, laugh at my pain at that point. Oh my gosh. Oh man, hold on. I got a couple. My man, Minister Crush. Thank you, brother, for the $50 cash app. Appreciate that, sir. Thank you for that. Yolanda, I appreciate you for the $20. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna send some love right back to you. And Demetrius, thank you for the $15. I appreciate that as well. Thank you guys. Seriously, for real. Thank you. All right, what do we have? DePaul, thank you so much for the contribution. I appreciate you with that. Baker, oh wait, no, this ain't Baker. Yeah, Baker. Yeah, Baker. What's up? Happy Friday, y'all. I'm listening with a drink while I do prom prep for Saturday. Yay me. Nah, my kid is driving me crazy. This is saving her life. This live is saving her life. I'm glad to hear it. I think prom is next week for us. So we got to deal with that. Oh my gosh, my oldest is going to her first prom. I still don't know how to process that. Jesus. I'll be looking at the bill for all these things. I'm like, y'all prom costs how much? What you say? For hair? For all of that? They gonna have this at the Holiday Inn or something? Like, golly. But anyway, I feel your pain. Quiet one. Better stop playing and check in. Geese demon time. Listen, I'm gonna bring some holy water next time. I'm telling you, I don't like geese. I don't like them. Like I really daydreamed how I could just own my block back. I've really thought about it, but summertimes are not good for us because that's the only time they come. But that was your Kiki moment, brought to you by Kiki West, our very own. Guys, if you don't mind, please give Kiki some love, show her some love, because I love the fact that we all support each other here. But thank you for that once again. All right. Who said shot quack? Who? What? You know what? We gonna move on. We gonna move on. I'm not dealing with y'all. All right. Back on topic. Lord of the Rings. Lord of the Rings has probably been a cherished series, a book series. It was actually one of the first big novels that I read as a kid. I started off with The Hobbit, then I got into Lord of the Rings, and then later on when Peter Jackson did the trilogies, it just blew my mind. What a fantastic trilogy at that too. Great. The only issue I had, the main issue I had with the Lord of the Rings is I did not like the reveal of Strider. I did not like that. I thought that it was because it was a twist in the book, and they just revealed it in the movie, so I didn't like that. But Lord of the Rings, the trilogy has been fantastic in terms of the movies. And the TV show, was it Rings of Power or whatever? It was a little rough, but I liked the ending. It was rough. I almost gave up on it, to be honest with you. Like, I stopped. I was like, nah, I'm not doing this. But then it came back around towards the end, so it was cool. But with that said, there's always been talk about what are they going to do next. And one of the things that they've talked about, or at least I would just say one of the more recognizable characters or figures in Lord of the Rings has been this scary guy right here, and that is Gollum. Now, Gollum, I always thought was pretty interesting, but only to a degree. I thought Gollum was cool in terms of his interactions with Bilbo and then with Frodo, but after that, I don't really care about Gollum. And we already know what happened to him as well. But it seems as though we might be getting a whole Gollum movie coming up. It says here, Warner Brothers will release the first of its new batch of live action Lord of the Rings films in 2026, which will focus on Andy Serkis's Gollum. Now, Peter Jackson, who directed the previous films, will be producing the movie, and he will be involved every step of the way. The project is currently just in the early stages of the script development and will explore storylines that are yet to be told. The working title for the film is Lord of the Rings: The Hunt for Gollum, and it will be directed by and star Serkis in his iconic titular role. All right. I've got some questions. I got a couple questions, couple issues. Let's see. I think first it had is this it? No. Oh, I don't have it. Okay. So I saw here that the writers for this movie are the same writers that did the Lord of the Rings trilogy. So I'm like, you know what? That sounds cool. I like the idea of having those writers come back. They know the lore, they know the mythology, they know the books. I like that. That's cool. I am a little cautious though about Andy Serkis. Now, let me be very clear. Andy Serkis is a fantastic performer as an actor. I really like him as an actor. If you guys recall, he is the one that played Caesar, in all the Planet of the Apes movies. So he's a great physical performer. He's really good at that, and he played Gollum, right? So you put that mocap on him, he can get down on all fours and do stuff and make it believable. He's fantastic. But as a director, I got questions. So when we look at what he's done as a director, Heavenly Sword, whatever, Breathe, I ain't never seen it. Ruins of the Empire, I don't know. Mowgli, I did see Mowgli. But man, you did Venom too. Venom too? And y'all gonna put him in charge of Lord of the Rings? Now, Mowgli was not terrible, but it was forgettable. Like, I ain't never heard nobody talk about Mowgli. Like, it's just it came and left. It came and went. But I don't remember hating the movie. Venom 2 is trash. Now, it could be the fact that the writers for Venom 2 are also trash. That includes Tom Hardy, by the way. He was one of the writers. So I'm wondering, could Andy Serkis do well if he has good writers? So yes, I'm nervous because Venom 2 was still on his resume, but if the writing is strong, maybe Andy can do a better job. Maybe. So, and I'll be honest, like I said, I did not really care too much about Gollum's story. Not like that. I don't know what Gollum's story can really bring about. So I feel like this is really going to appeal more so to the hardcore Lord of the Ring fans. I don't know if this is going to be like a everybody's got to come out and see it type of movie. I heard some rumors that maybe this was going to be about Strider, Viggo Mortensen's character. He's gonna, like, I think Bilbo was gonna send him out on a mission to go find Gollum or something like that. I don't know, whatever it is, but I'm mild on this. I need a trailer. I need some good reviews. You're gonna have to really work to get my attention on this. Just saying. But I don't know. You guys let me know. What do you think about a solo Gollum movie directed by Gollum himself? Whatever you think, please feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Chris, what is this? When you invite people over to eat, make sure you wash the greens before cooking. I got all ready for some good greens. I ended up with a mouthful of sandy dirt. The girl was cute, but can't cook. Okay. Where did this come from? Thank you so much for the support, man. I appreciate you. I have no idea what that's related to. Is that a quote or something from something, or is that a real life thing? Is like, all right. Lesson learned, I guess. But thank you. Super. Was that meant to be a super chat? Did you copy and paste the wrong message, bro? Anyway. Superman. All right. So it has been well known that at this point, Henry Cavill ain't gonna be Superman, right? And we have already known that David Corenswet is going to be the new Superman and James Gunn's DCU. And with that, a lot of people some people have been all anti James Gunn, anti Corenswet because they still butthurt that Henry Cavill's not around. It's almost like people can't get recasted and new series start and stuff like that. But with that happening, we do have a new era that is starting, which has happened with Superman multiple times. With this said, people have also wondered, what's this Superman going to look like? What is his suit going to look like? And apparently we have our very first look of what this new Superman will look like. And this is it. This is our first look at Superman. My man is putting on his boots. And he is I guess something is going on back there. I don't know, but okay, let's zoom in on it. What kind of Dragon Ball Z fight is going on back there? Like, Goku, what are you doing? That's a spirit bomb, clearly. This look like a Majin Buu issue going on right here. I don't know. Some DBZ stuff is definitely happening. But look at my man, Soups. Superman looks super tired. He looks super tired. He looked over it already. He looked like, golly, again? I still got to go cook and pick up dinner for Lois. But now I got to go stop this fireball in the sky and all these monsters and stuff. Oh, man, let me get my boots on here. And, man, I ain't even had time to wash my suit. Still dirty from the last fight. Superman looks over it. Now, I've heard some criticisms. Some people was roasting his shoulders. They like, how come he can't fill this out? Why he got all the wrinkles right here? What is going on? Now, listen. I will admit, I was a little disappointed with the suit. I don't think the suit is bad. The suit looks just like Henry Cavill's old suit. I'm a little surprised that James Gunn would pick this look. Now, if you looked a little closer, I do believe he does have the trunks, the red trunks. So, that's probably the biggest difference outside of the emblem is obviously a little different. But he is also wearing the red trunks with the yellow belt. So that's probably the biggest difference between him and Henry Cavill. But I'm just like, bro, like, you already have the whole, Henry Cavill, David Corenswet, like comparisons, being happening and everything. And he does look like, the Wish version of Henry Cavill, like, but then again, they all look like that, right? They all have that brunette, muscular, square jaw. That's Superman too, right? I don't think that this was the best pose for a first look. Because if you think about it, whenever you think of Superman, what's the first thing that comes to mind? Usually, my man got his chest out, arms, fists on his waist, looking up at the sky. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's the Superman pose. I would have been like, you got to kind of have that kind of energy. Don't nothing about this look super. Now I don't know if James Gunn just was trying to have like that weird sense of humor or something of like, yeah, he's just an everyday guy and he's just, putting on his boots one boot at a time, just like everybody else. First of all, he's not like everybody else because he's Superman, and the wrinkles, like, bro, what happened with the costume department? Y'all couldn't get this y'all couldn't even CGI this out. What the steamer at? Get the steamer on him a little bit. Just, So anyway, this does not make or break it for me. I know some people that were already on the bandwagon of hating on James Gunn, like, Superman's suit is not the way I imagined it, so I'm done. I don't care. I thought he was going to give us maybe a lighter blue Superman, something, a little bit closer to the old school traditional look of him, but whatever, maybe it looks different. And the lighting, maybe it's a little dirty. I don't know. But here's one thing I do know. We might all have something to say about David Corenswet's suit, the Superman suit, and all that. I don't think any of us are going to question this man's physique. He's been in the gym. This guy's been in the... Listen, he looked like Superman. If that don't look like... I thought that was Henry Cavill. I thought it was. But he's clearly been putting in that work. You see the biceps. He's putting in that work. So I don't think anybody can question the fact that he's at least trying to fill out the role. But I don't know. How do y'all feel about this new Superman, his new suit? Are you feeling it? Are you not feeling it? Are you willing to still give it a chance, or are you already cashed out and done? Whatever you think, please feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right, hold on. Oh man. Yo, Storm Shadow. I ain't gonna use your government name. Storm Shadow, thank you so much, man. You said here, hey E, been trying to support through the super chat, but it's broken for me. Thanks for the continued quality content, bro. Blessed. Thank you so much for the $50 on Venmo. Thank you so much, Storm Shadow. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you holding it down with the Mod Squad and coming through every week. I really do appreciate that, man. Thank you so much. Super chats wasn't working for me too. I was trying to support another brother too on YouTube, and yeah, it just wasn't working. YouTube was tripping, but it is what it is. But thank you so much for that. Really appreciate y'all. All right, now I went to now's the time where we got to talk about Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. I recently was able to watch it. If you have not seen my out of the theater reaction, you can. It's less than a minute. I'll just give you my quick little thoughts right after seeing it. But I did want to kind of give you guys just a bit of a review of the film and what I thought about it. So let me give you real quick just a quick intro to it. So many years after the reign of Caesar, I want to say it's about 300 years or so, we're following a young ape who goes on a journey that is going to lead him to question everything that he's been taught from his parents, elders, etc., about the past and the world around him. And he's now going to have to make certain choices that will define the future of both apes and humanity together. Okay, so that's pretty much Planet of the Apes, the Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes. So let me, of course, in normal fashion, give you guys the things that I thought were good. So starting off, I definitely thought that the visual effects were superb. There's no question about it. When you're watching these things, you feel like you're watching real monkeys interacting. Real apes interacting. And I just loved how realistic they were. And a lot of that also goes into their performances. So by having these really good VFX, like just literally just letting those VFX cook, you can see things like just the small, like the emotions in all of these, in all of the performers. And shout out to the performers as well, because a lot of the performers, you know, these are actually people that are in mocap and they are, you know, pretending to be monkeys. So the fact that they were able to pull this kind of stuff off was really exceptionally well done. And I love how they did it. I mean, you can really get captivated by a lot of the emotional moments that are in this film. You do get some great action sequences. And I'm not talking about like, oh, people are fighting. It's just more of like there are tense moments that happen throughout the film that really wake you up. They really get you going. You're kind of like, yo, what's about to happen? This is nuts, right? So it's definitely like it gets on some National Geographic on 10 type of vibes. But I really, really enjoyed that. I also enjoyed the fact that they did more digging into the independent cultures that these apes have. So all the apes are not a monolith. We actually get to learn about the different tribe of the apes and, the different things that different apes do. So we get to see how they progress and move forward. And that was really intriguing to learn more about them. But probably another thing that I absolutely enjoyed was the world building. You get to see what happened after War of the Planet of the Apes and Dawn and Rise, and you get to see what the state of the world looks like 300 something odd years later. And it's really fascinating. Like they do a really good job with the set pieces. Of course, a lot of this stuff is CGI as well, and VFX, but it's really, really cool just in terms of seeing just what happened to the state of the world. And when you compare all of that with really good cinematography and everything, it just really does a good job of immersing you into this world with these characters. And I think that was just fantastic. But not only that, I also really enjoyed the overall story. The story I thought was pretty good. You get more than I would say the other movies kind of give to you, mainly because this one does a good job of pushing the narrative forward, especially at the end. The end definitely gives you something to be like, oh, I think I'm gonna come back and watch the next movie. So it definitely pushes the narrative forward. It definitely increases the mythology of this whole story. And I like the very creative ways in the writing, how they reference the past movies, but in an interesting way that's kind of like how we do it today, right? Like we'll be like, oh yeah, 300 years ago this happened, but it just kind of, it's almost like that telephone game, how what really happened today is not going to be remembered exactly the same way in the future centuries, later. So I like how they captivated that, or how they captured that. But when it comes to the bad, I'll say this. I wasn't completely moved by the human story here. It was okay, but there were little times it felt more forced than natural. Now, maybe when the whole series franchise concludes, maybe it'll make more sense later. I don't know. But I will say that there were times that the human side, the human story, did not appeal to me as much. It was okay, but it did not feel like a strength in this, because the whole time I was like, yo, we got monkeys, we got apes. I want to learn more about the monkeys and apes. That's what it's all about. That's what you told me about. By the way, I love Raka, the orangutan. Very great. Great. So yeah, the human story did not really appeal to me as much. And there were some moments in the film that were a little slow, and a little bit slower than I would have liked. That's all. So the pacing had a couple slow moments, especially in the very beginning. So it does take some time to get going. But man, once it finally does get going, then we're off to the races. So I would say the pacing, the human story, but this was probably my biggest disappointment because it was one of my favorite things, and it was the villain. The villain just does not get enough screen time to flesh themselves out, and that was a little disappointing for me. I thought that, it took almost half of the movie to finally get to the villain, and I was like, yo, this is probably one of the best characters that they have on there. What a wonderful day. Like I was saying that all day. What a wonderful day. And it just was like, man, that's it. That's all we get from the villain. That's it. So for me, I felt like the villain was a little shortchanged in the film, because it was a very dynamic character. It was a very intriguing character. I don't want to say that he was like Killmonger and Black Panther, but a little Magneto vibes, a little bit. So I just felt like it was a missed opportunity that they could have capitalized on, but they didn't dig deep enough in with that character with what they gave us. But when it comes to the overall, listen, Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes is absolutely a worthy sequel. And I would say that it's probably one of the better movies in the Apes franchise. I can't sit here and tell you that it's the best one, or where it ranks, because to be honest with you, I haven't rewatched the old ones. I've liked all of them, to be very clear. But this one does still feel as though it's probably at the top somewhere in the franchise. And I absolutely enjoyed it. Like I said, it pushes the narrative forward, which is really good. It has characters that you actually care about, which is very tough to do. And it looks very good on the big screen. Like I saw it in IMAX. I thought it was fantastic in that. It just made everything come alive. It was very immersive. So I really enjoyed it. So when it comes to the rating for Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes, I've got to give it probably an 8 out of 10. Now I would say that don't feel like you have to go watch all the previous films. If you haven't in a while, it's fine. You can watch a video online to just do a recap. But, if you do go rewatch it, I don't think you'll regret it, because I like those past movies, but I don't think watching the past trilogy is necessary, because this movie does a pretty good job of basically catching you up and basically giving you the information of what you missed, so on and so forth. So they do a good job recapping things for you. And also, don't feel like you have to stay all the way to the end. There isn't a post-credit scene. There's a post-credit sound, but whatever. So don't feel like you have to stay. But anyway, guys, have you seen Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes? If and when you do, come on back to this video. Let me know what you thought about it in the comments down below. All right. That is my Kingdom of the Planet of the Apes review. All right, so we got a couple last topics. We got Fantastic Four to talk about. We got some rumors to talk about. Then we got to talk about Marvel and some interesting things that they finally came out to say. Let's kick it off with Fantastic Four. So Fantastic Four, as we know, the cast has been announced. We got our Fantastic Four cast revealed, but there's still some other pieces that are being added little by little, and different characters that are being added as we go. And we got some news about some new additions that were added, and one of them is John Malkovich. So John Malkovich has now joined the cast of Fantastic Four, but nobody knows what his role is or who he's going to be playing or what he's doing. I saw some people online being excited, like, oh my gosh, this adds all this prestige to the movie and all this stuff. And I was like, okay. Like, John Malkovich doesn't move me. He doesn't move the needle for me for a film. Now, if you told me Walton Goggins, Jesse Plemons, Jeffrey Wright, Giancarlo Esposito, you tell me they join a movie, all right. Now, Delroy Lindo, you tell me they join a movie, okay, now you have my attention. John Malkovich don't do that for me. Not for me. I'm not saying he's a terrible actor. I'm just saying I don't get the hype. Like So I was like, all right, that's nice. But, and we don't even know the role that he's playing, so whatever. But this was the news that I thought was more interesting, because we had talked about how if you have Fantastic Four, you have to have Galactus. because we already know that a female Silver Surfer was announced, or Silver Surfer type, whatever. And the question is, who is going to play Galactus? Now, I've already told y'all I don't care about Galactus like that. He's not a character that has ever really intrigued me like that, especially in the comics, cartoons, and movies. But he is a central figure for the Fantastic Four. So, and besides Doom, of course, because Doom is really the gem in Fantastic Four. But you got to have Galactus, of course. Now, we've heard all the rumors that it was going to be Antonio Banderas, and that Marvel wanted a Hispanic actor, and they were also thinking of Javier Bardem. And, Marvel was like, oh, okay, y'all want the Hispanic? And no, we're not going to do that. We're going to go Irish. Yep. I'm sorry, British. We're going to go British. So Ralph Ineson has now been named as your new Galactus. And he's been in Harry Potter. He was in the First Omen. He's been in a lot of different movies. I like him. He's a pretty decent actor. But I think that what really matters here, we got to listen. I want y'all to listen to his voice, because Galactus is really just going to be mocap, VFX anyway. What's going to stand out is this guy's voice. So I want you to listen to his voice. And if this don't sound like Galactus, I don't know who or what does.
Get me a remote unit.
Got access.
Wait, could y'all hear that? Let me see. Hold on. Let me change that, because I don't think y'all can hear that. Let me change that. Okay. All right. Now I think y'all can hear it. There we go.
Get me a remote unit.
Got access. What's the command?
Kill the bastards.
Dude's voice is so deep. It is so deep. You don't have to do any voice work with him. Like, he's ready made. He's ready to just step into the booth, do whatever mocap if they need him to. And I mean, shoot, put a mask on him. He do got a long face. Like, he could just be Galactus right there, ready made, good to go. I like it. This is a good pick. I like this pick. This is a good pick. But this also is an interesting pick. And here's why I say that. I want y'all to look at the current cast of Fantastic Four, and y'all tell me what y'all notice. What do y'all see? Look at that cast. Just look at the cast. And you already know I come with the receipts, because it is looking a little vanilla. And it was just so funny to me, because back in 2016, Kevin Feige did say that he wanted to move beyond the completely white cast of comic book movies. Now, I'm being very clear about this. I don't mind the cast. I don't care. I'm fine. I've never looked at the Fantastic Four as a level or as a point of diversity. I've never looked at them that way. They came about in the 60s at a time when you really didn't even have a lot of diverse characters and stuff. There was an all-white family, whatever. So it does not bother me. All I'm saying is, I got a feeling that Ike Perlmutter and Nelson Peltz are off on an island somewhere drinking they whiskeys or whatever, feeling real good about this cast. Real good. They like, yo, we back, baby. We back. And it's just, it's wild to me, because Kevin Feige was just like, we got to get away from the all-white cast. We got to mix it up. So let's throw Pedro Pascal in there. The white passing Chilean. So again, I don't care. I'm just saying, I thought y'all said y'all wanted a little sprinkle of DEI. But it looks like y'all backtracking a little too hard based off of what y'all said. Marvel, y'all wanted the DEI. Y'all want it. And I'm not saying that you have to force it in there either. I'm just saying it doesn't even look like y'all tried. That's all. It doesn't look like y'all tried at all. Looks like y'all say, you know what? White is right. White is right. You know. So, hey, it is what it is. I mean, I'm not losing sleep over it. I'm not going to be doing any picket signs or issues. Like, I already told you, I don't really care about the Fantastic Four like that anyway. So it is what it is. But y'all let me know, what do you think about these casting decisions that just happened for Fantastic Four? Do you like John Malkovich? I don't hate him. I barely have an opinion about him. So it's not like I hate him. I'm just not checking for him. I'm not saying he's a bad actor. He just doesn't move the needle for me. And what do you think about Ralph, getting cast as Galactus? Personally, I think great cast. Voice is there. He's going to be in a helmet anyway. I think this is solid. But I don't know. You guys let me know. What do you think? Let me know in the comments down below. Poor man, Superman putting on boots like he about to quit his job. He does look like he's gonna quit. It's like, I'm sick of this. Batman got to go through this. I'm sick of this, Metropolis. Every other week, y'all got something attacking. Why? Let's see. Quiet One, what you got? I did see it today. I enjoyed it. By the way, got my Magneto was right shirt during this live. Oh my goodness. Man, oh man. Quiet One, you have no idea how much that brings joy to my heart, because y'all already know I try to hook y'all up right here, and I'll put the link right there in the description for y'all, and I put the link in the comments. You too can get you a Magneto was right shirt right here I got it on the videos. It's tagged. If you scroll down on the YouTube, on the app, whatever, you will find the link to the store. If you don't like that, you can go ahead and get some other things. Milky Way Ghetto. We got the Where's My CD Player, Gambit, Levels Above. If you out there for the tribal chief, ladies, I got y'all covered too. You want a fulfillionaire mindset, go ahead and get you one of those too. Listen, we out here. We got some things. It's happening. I appreciate y'all. I try to lower the price as much as I can. I'm not gonna name no names, but I've seen a couple channels out there selling t-shirts for a lot of money. And I get it. They got to pay their staff and all that stuff. I get it. I'm not paying over $35, $40 unless it's a hoodie. That's just me personally. I'm not buying no t-shirt for no $30, $40, $50. So I do my best to lower these prices for y'all. I'm not making it. I make like $4 on a shirt. So it's not a money maker. I'd rather y'all just have some cool stuff to have out there. And this is close to the lowest that I can put it. So I hope y'all go ahead and get something. I'm not gonna name them names, but I saw that. I was like, are y'all insane? $50 for a shirt? $30 for a t-shirt? Man, if that thing ain't got my name on the front and back or something, customized, y'all could miss me with that. Minister Crush, Michael B. Jordan is doing what? He gets casted everything, everything. No trolling or Mackie, whatever. See, Minister, you playing. You right that he does get cast and everything. You're not wrong about that, but you playing right now. Thank you so much for that, brother. I appreciate you. Let's see. Okay. Let's do these. let's do these rumors because I know y'all like rumors. Now, rumor has it that The Rock, Dwayne The Rock Johnson, could be coming to the MCU. We already know that he has been a superhero with Black Adam. Didn't go very far, but it was still number one on iTunes. Shout out to the iTunes. But it is possible that The Rock could be coming to the MCU. Now, who could The Rock possibly play? Who would want The Rock? And where could he fit? Well, according to this new rumor that's on there, it looks like The Rock could be playing Apocalypse. According to My Time to Shine, which I can't speak for that reputation, it says Dwayne The Rock Johnson is on Marvel Studios' radar to play Apocalypse. We'd assume this is for the upcoming X-Men reboot, though it's possible he'd play a variant of the villain in one of the upcoming X-Men Avengers movies, seeing as many of the original X-Men are expected to appear. I don't know. First of all, I don't trust the source. And that's only because I don't know the source that well. And it's no shade to My Time to Shine. Maybe they do have good scoops. I don't know, but it's not something that I go checking for and verifying. So take this with a big old grain of salt. Here's why I don't know if I want Rock as Apocalypse. If it's a one-time thing, maybe, but it would have to be like quick. It would have to be something like, ha ha ha, here's The Rock as Apocalypse for like 5 minutes and then he's gone and never comes back. Multiverse at most. But I'll tell you this, the reason why I don't want this is because The Rock would be too distracting. I don't like the idea of taking an already super popular actor, super recognizable, and putting them in the role of a character that is significant. Now, I will say that Josh Brolin did a fantastic job as Thanos. They did just the right enough amount of VFX and all that stuff, so that works. I don't know if you need VFX for Apocalypse. And I really don't want to see Apocalypse giving people the people's eyebrow. So it's a no for me. I don't want The Rock as Apocalypse. Unless they was going to cake him in makeup and we would just never know or something like that. But no, thank you. I'm sorry. It wouldn't be the people's eyebrow. It would be the mutant's eyebrow. I don't want it. And not to mention, Apocalypse is a character that has a certain gravitas to him. You need if I'm being honest, you need a better actor. Oscar Isaac, even though the movie was trash, Oscar Isaac was still a pretty good performer when he played Apocalypse in that trashy X-Men movie. So you don't need to be big and swole, and so that's not necessary because they got costumes, they got all that other stuff and makeup. But you do need a good actor to play Apocalypse because that's not a character that you should play around with, in my opinion. So I don't even like the idea of having someone play a variant. Don't give me the variants yet. You can give me variants for like characters that are supporting smaller roles. female Silver Surfer. Okay, whatever. But Apocalypse is a phase villain. You know what I'm saying? Like Apocalypse is a villain like Thanos. Apocalypse is a villain that he's not supposed to come in for just one movie and then that's it. I don't want that to be cheapened with a one-time quickie with The Rock coming in as this role and it's just a variant and then it don't last and it no thank you. No thank you. So I'm good on this. I don't really want The Rock in this role. I cannot think off the top of my head right now what he would be good at in you know, I'll take that back. You know who I would like The Rock to play if he were to come into the MCU? I think he'd be good as Gladiator. Y'all know Gladiator, the protector for the Bird Queen, for the Shi'ar. Rock could play Gladiator. Put a mohawk on him, put him all in purple makeup. He's almost dang near like Superman. I think he'd be better as Gladiator. That could work. He's not cracking no corny jokes. He's serious all the time. Basically, the first couple of minutes of what we got in Black Adam, I would be better with that. Better with that. Who was saying Onslaught? No, thank you. No, I'm good on that. I don't. And plus, I don't even think you need someone like Rock for Onslaught. You know, no, that's cool. And they've already cast Sentry, so nah. Anyway, you guys let me know. What do you think about The Rock? This rumor. This is only a rumor. What do you think about The Rock playing Apocalypse? Or I don't know, maybe you do like the idea of Rock as Sentry or somebody else. I don't know. Whatever you think. Let me know in the comments down below. Dwight, E-Man out there like Gordon Cartel. Listen, I need that shirt, by the way. I need to find it. If I could find an original Gordon Cartel, I would love that. I would love that. Somebody find me that shirt. I will get it. Quiet one. The Rock lacks the range to be a menacing Apocalypse and making the audience fear him or make it believable. All we will see is The Rock in makeup. The actor needs multi-layered acting chops. Sorry. So I don't know if I'd agree. So I partially agree with that. I think he could look menacing, but I agree with your latter point that once he starts talking and stuff, that's when I'm gonna be like, that's The Rock. Nah, that's The Rock. You know what I'm saying? Like if he just show up, don't say nothing, I'll be like, uh-oh. But once he start talking, then I'll be like, all right, man, that's The Rock, man. Whatever. Whatever. You know? So yeah, I'm with you on it for the most part. Like I wouldn't believe, I'd be too distracted. I'd be like, that's The Rock. Like there's no way I could not see that I could unsee that. Didier, what you got? I could see The Rock as Caliban. But that's it. Okay. Caliban could work. I could see that. That wouldn't be bad. Thank you for that. All right, let's move on to another rumor that, oh my gosh, y'all kept tagging me to this. X-Men. All right, we have a rumor for X-Men. So it's already been, we've heard the news about this before. It's been reported that Marvel is already looking for writers for the upcoming X-Men movie. There's been rumors and speculation that this movie might come maybe before Secret Wars, maybe after Secret Wars. Either way, within the next 3 years, give or take, an X-Men movie is going to be happening. It's going to get into development according to these reports. But the main question is, who do you get for it? What do you do? Because right now, X-Men 97 is straight cooking. And I mean, they cooking with bacon grease, with a side of lard and some extra butter. Okay. Bo, DeMayo, and the rest of the team are out there doing the business when it comes to X-Men 97. But of course, they're not They don't even want to rehire him. But the question now is like, okay, who should you get to do this? And the popular rumor right now is Ryan Coogler. So Ryan Coogler's name has been tossed out there. And it says here, according to this rumor, Ryan Coogler will return to helm a third Black Panther movie. And the new rumor is now claiming he's signed on to do just that. But my time to shine again. The studio, according to him, says they want Coogler to take on X-Men. So the question here is, can Ryan Coogler do another X-Men movie or do an X-Men movie? And then I guess the other question is, should Ryan Coogler do an X-Men movie? I'm going to give y'all two perspectives here. One perspective on the pro is he's a black man. And from a black man, he's going to have a certain perspective as a minority of discrimination, oppression, which is integral to the story and the archetypes that come along with writing about the X-Men. The X-Men have always been a parallel for discrimination, bigotry, and those that are oppressed, right? That has always been the case. So having a person of color, a black man like Ryan Coogler, makes sense on paper. So, you know, he did give you a $1.3 billion movie with Black Panther. It did have some deep black vibes to it. Makes sense on paper. Let me give you the other perspective. And this is probably where I'm going to lean with it right now and say that I do not want Ryan Coogler to do X-Men. Now, this has nothing to do with the creative difference that I have with him in terms of not wanting to recast T'Challa. That's a separate point. My issue with Ryan Coogler doing X-Men is I'm more so concerned about his creative decision making and how he relates to the comics and puts that in on the big screen. Okay, now bear with me here. When I heard his reasoning for T'Challa Jr., I got more apprehensive of his decision making because he took a small element that was true with T'Challa and tried to put it into Black Panther Wakanda Forever and make it apply with T'Challa Jr. And I don't think any of the comic fans or the people fans of the franchise even got it, nor did they care. Because he sat here and said, hey, in the comics, T'Challa he lost his dad and he was a prince, a king, a boy king that didn't have a father. So therefore, I can apply that with T'Challa Jr. and it's the same thing. I don't like how he correlates the source material and the themes into his movies. That's my personal issue with it. And I'll be honest. And I also don't like the idea of him killing off the Queen Mother. So there are certain things I don't like in his creative process only when it comes to specific franchises. I'm not talking about Ryan Coogler as a bad director. I like Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler is still one of my favorite directors. Let's make that clear. But I don't really think his correlation with the source material versus the translation and adaptation to the big screen is what you want with X-Men. And the reason why I say that is because of what we've been getting from X-Men 97. One thing that has been very apparent in X-Men 97 is the fact that it is so close to the source material that whether you're a comic fan or whether you're not a comic fan, both groups can jump in and absolutely enjoy. What I have loved seeing so far is the resurgence of comic fans coming in and being like, ooh, that's Fatal Attraction. Let me tell y'all what that's all about. Or other non-comic fans like, yo, who's Onslaught? Yo, what's this? And their intrigue in the source material starts to rise and peak because the show is staying faithful enough. It's like 80%. It's staying faithful enough to the source material, and it's getting both sides, whether you know comics or you don't know, interested in everything. I did not see that same effect when it came to Ryan Coogler doing Black Panther, especially Black Panther Wakanda Forever. People were going into it, sure, without the same level of comic enthusiasm, but the source material was played a little bit too thin, in my opinion. So overall, I believe that X-Men is the crown jewel of Marvel, next to Spider-Man, maybe next to Hulk. This is like, you can't like, if this was DC, you can't mess up Batman, and you can't mess up Wonder Woman, and you can't mess up the Justice League. And for Marvel, that's what you also need with X-Men 97. In my opinion, it's not enough to just have a talented director like Ryan Coogler in there, because you need to get not only the non-comic fans, but you need to also get the comic fans too. And the X-Men are very, very, you gotta get to the source material. You have to. You can't just throw in Apocalypse and be like, all right, y'all happy, right? Now, here's what I would like to work, but I don't think it could work. If you told me Bo DeMayo got rehired, and if you told me Bo DeMayo was writing this X-Men movie, and if you told me Ryan Coogler was going to direct it based off of that script, now you have my attention. Now you have, because you're going to have two brothers, somebody that understands and respects the script to a T and understands how the people feel. And then you have a good, talented director with Ryan Coogler. I would be all on board for that. Unfortunately, I don't think that would ever work. Why? Because Ryan Coogler is a writer and director. I remember when I first saw him for Creed. It was a screening in Chicago. It was the first time I got to meet him, and nobody was checking for him. Nobody cared about him. I mean, he did Fruitvale Station, which I liked, very good, and everybody liked the movie. But at this screening, you had Michael B. Jordan right outside, you had Tessa Thompson right outside, and you had this little director, this little black guy, Ryan Coogler, just hanging around. Nobody cared. I walked up to him and I started talking to him. He was really cool. And I remember at that screening, one of the things he talked about was how he gave advice to somebody who wanted to be a director. He was like, you got to be a writer first. And one thing that's very important to Ryan Coogler is he has to write it. So before people jump on the bandwagon of, I want Ryan Coogler to do X-Men, I want you to understand that if you get Ryan Coogler to do X-Men, you're also having Ryan Coogler write X-Men. And for me, that's where I'm like, I don't know. I like him as a director, as a writer. That's where I think it's going to be not exactly what people think, because he's going to take certain liberties that I don't know if everyone's going to jive with. So I'm looking at it more so from a technical perspective, a creative perspective. Again, this has nothing to do with recast T'Challa. This is more so of his body of work and his creative approach and how he does things. I think he does fantastic work in other ways, But for this specific franchise of X-Men, it would be a no for me. So that's just my thoughts on it. But when it does come to X-Men, there is another rumor out there, and I guess this one sounds a little bit more accurate, but it says here that the X-Men movie is close to hiring a writer, with the finalists including Rafi Judkins and Michael Leslie. So Michael Leslie, what did he do? Wait, let's see. What did he do as a writer? So as a writer, American Drama, I don't know what that is. I don't know. No, am I a producer? Hold on, let me see. Okay, writer. I don't know none of these movies. Macbeth. Ugh. Assassin's Creed. Oh God, that was terrible. Hunger Games. I did not watch that last one, so I don't know. But yuck. Assassin's Creed. No, thank you. No, thank you. What's this? Rafi? No, who is this? This is Rafi Judkins. As a writer, he's done Wheel of Time. I guess that was okay. Uncharted. Ugh. Oh, he did some. Okay, he did a couple episodes for Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. That's not bad. So I guess at least he's Marvel savvy. Yeah, I'm gonna say that neither one of these writers say anything to me. Neither one of them. So, but yeah, I don't know, guys. You guys, let me know. What do you think about these rumors about these X-Men writers? Do you think that listen, maybe you completely disagree with me. Maybe you think Ryan Coogler is the savior for the MCU and he's the only one that can do X-Men. That's totally fine if you think that way. That's okay. You don't have to agree with me. Or maybe you do agree with me and you get bonus points. No, I'm just playing. But what do y'all think? Do you guys think that Ryan Coogler should direct X-Men? Or do you think maybe they should find someone else? I don't know. Whatever you think, please feel free to let me know in the comments down below. All right. Quiet one, what you got? I personally think they should keep Larry Houston on in a producer role or EP like he is on both animated series and applying the source material. Listen, I would like that too. I got no problem with that. But this is where the business part and the creative part starts to get in there. So again, if we're talking about Ryan Coogler, he's probably going to come in as a producer. Marvel did sign like this nice contract with him where I feel like Coogler would have more say than maybe even a Larry Houston. So you have to think about the power dynamics behind all this stuff too. I don't think a Larry Houston is going to be enough if you have someone like Ryan Coogler. The same way you could have Bo DeMayo as the writer, and I could still see issues with Ryan Coogler being like, nah, as a writer myself, I want to do this. You know, I mean, listen, I've already told y'all this even when it came to Wakanda Forever. I'm not going to say who I talked to, but the fact that I spoke to somebody extremely close to the situation, and I was like, hey, did y'all ever think about the blip? Because y'all literally killed T'Challa back then. Did you ever creatively, even in a brainstorm session, did y'all ever think about addressing the fact that that Wakanda had no king for 5 years and that he clearly was dead and gone, that they probably had a funeral back then? Did y'all ever think about addressing that? How y'all having multiple funerals for him? Did you ever think? Nah, we didn't. So yeah, my faith and confidence in the source material and the creativity is a little shaken. It's a little shaken, you know. So I don't know if Larry would be enough, but I wouldn't mind that at all. All right. And by the way, y'all do know there are other black directors out there. Just saying, just you know, it's not Ryan Coogler or bust now. Just throwing that out there, you know. let's get to our last couple topics here. We got the Marvel plan and the confessions. All right, let's start off with Disney and the Marvel plan. So, Disney and Marvel have had their challenges, whether it's because of the pandemic, whether it's because of certain creative decisions, whether it's because of Bob Chapek. Either way, certain stumbles have happened. Since then, they had to bring back Bob Iger. You know, Bob Iger had to come. My man retired, had to come back from retirement just to come and fix things because both companies was not going down the right path. So Iger has said a couple things in the past, basically saying like, yo, we got to go back to our heavy hitters. You know, we got to go back to the franchise. Everybody don't need a sequel. Everybody don't need a movie. Like everybody don't need a spinoff. We going to have to figure out what works, what don't work, and move on with that. So recently, I want to say it was like an investor call or meeting or something like that. And Bob Iger had some comments about the direction Disney was going in with their movies, from animation, live action, etc. And this is what ended up happening. It said here the executive mentioned the power of Disney sequels like Frozen 2, Toy Story 4, and Finding Dory, all passed the $1 billion mark when it came to their worldwide box office performance. And this is what he said. He said, we're going to balance sequels with originals, specifically in animation. We had gone through a period where our original films in animation, both Disney and Pixar, were dominating. We're now swinging back a bit to lean on sequels. By the way, I'm really looking forward to Inside Out 2. I thought Inside Out, the first movie, was one of the most brilliant things that they had come out with in a very, very long time, especially having kids, myself being a parent, like watching that. That is a movie I absolutely enjoy whenever it comes on, because it is so true, a little too true, especially when they start getting to the parents' heads and they be like, oh, you know, the wife is talking, she's mad, and the husband's just sitting there like, what was that on the sports? Wait, hold on. Wait, she said what? All right, red cop. What happened? She's mad. What is go? Like, I can relate. Unfortunately, I can relate because sometimes your mind just be elsewhere. You know, it's not good. I'm sorry. I'm just saying it's always an emergency when you have something to say. That's all. Because I love you. So, great movie. Love the fact that they're doing a sequel as well. But you know, I do like that idea of balancing things out. And that makes sense. You know, it definitely makes sense. But this is not just a Disney thing. This is also a Marvel thing that Bob Iger is planning. And it said here, Iger said, this is part of Disney's overall strategy to reduce the output and focus on quality, a strategy that's particularly true with Marvel. He said here, we're slowly going to decrease volume and go to probably about 2 TV series a year instead of what had become 4 to reduce our film output from maybe 4 a year or 2 or a maximum of 3. Now, it says, just for some context, Marvel Studios in 2025 has Captain America 4 coming, Thunderbolts and the Fantastic Four, and Blade. Now, keep in mind, some of that is because of the writer's strike, because we probably should have and could have gotten Blade earlier, but that didn't happen. And Captain America could have also came earlier, but again, the strike delayed that. And 4 more Marvel movies slated for 2026. That's going to be the 5th Avengers movie. You know, in 2024, that's the only movie that we're getting from Marvel, and that's Deadpool and Wolverine. And it says here, only time Marvel has released more than 3 movies in a year was in 2021. That was with Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man, No Way Home. Ooh, that was a rough year. That year after the pandemic, man, we thought we was going to feast. And we did not feast. No Way Home was great. I like Shang-Chi, but Black Widow and Eternals. Ugh. But the whole idea of balance makes sense, and I like that, right? So taking sequels like Cap 4, or what else are they doing? They're doing Cap 4 and Deadpool. Okay, we got the sequels, and then you sprinkle in something different like Thunderbolts. That's an original thing that we haven't seen before. So I like the fact that they mixing and matching these things up, balancing it out. Because if you think about it, like, sequels are a positive if it's a strong character, strong story that needs to actually be told, doesn't have screaming goats, and is something that people actually want to see. Like that when we talk about going to the theaters, a lot of times people ain't got the time or the money or the energy to go out there on a risk. Everyone's not going to go to the movies on something that maybe kind of sort of will look good or not. But that's why these superhero movies tend to do better than new films, because people like to go to things that are recognizable, or at least give them a little sense of confidence that it'll be worth their time and money. So I definitely like the strategy. And I like the idea that they are going to focus a little bit more on the sequels and the original things and balance that out. But you guys let me know, do you guys think that this is a good strategy for Disney, Pixar, and Marvel to kind of mix and match the sequels and original things? Is this a good idea? Is it a bad idea? Does it not matter? Whatever you think, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. All right. Mara Cherie. Oh my God. First of all, before I get to this, y'all, I need y'all. I hope, Mara, can I tell your business a little bit? Because I missed it last week or two. Is it okay if I tell your business? I mean, y'all put it online, so I figured it might be okay to share this. I'm going to assume that it's okay if I share your personal announcement. I don't know if you would announce it to people or not. Okay, you said sure. Okay, I got permission. Y'all, our very own, can I call Tamara Cherie? No, Mara Cherie. She's still Mara Cherie. Our very own Mara Cherie has said yes to her fiance, and she is getting married. Congratulations to you both. I am so happy for you. I wish you guys nothing but the best, happiness, joy, love, peace, prosperity, and anything else that y'all desire. I'm not going to say nothing if that ain't in y'all plans, but whatever y'all want, I hope y'all get it. So congratulations on that. It was so funny, by the way, because I didn't know, like, I was following your fiance because of what he does. I ain't going to put his business out there, but I was like, oh, okay, it's a cool guy. Seems cool and all that stuff. And I didn't know that y'all was talking. I didn't know y'all was in a relationship. And I was like looking on the socials, and I was like, he sure do be liking Marsharice's, posts a lot. Like, what? He always commenting and stuff. What's going on over here? They must be talking to something. I don't know. And then all of a sudden, I see him talk about, she said yes. And I was like, wait, what? So I just thought it was so fun. I was like, look at that small little internet world. Look at that. I didn't know. But I'm so happy for y'all. Congratulations. Like I said, best wishes to y'all. Tell my man I said what's up too. Okay, now what'd you say? I don't want Michael B. Jordan in the X-Men, and he's Ryan's muse. Well, there you go. And that's the other thing, because you already know, if you have Ryan Coogler directing X-Men, you are going to have Michael B. Jordan playing somebody. Who y'all ready to have Michael B. Jordan play? Maybe Bishop. I wouldn't be mad about Bishop. I wouldn't be mad about that. But I wouldn't be surprised if he's like, oh yeah, you finna be Iceman. I wouldn't be surprised if he does that too. So y'all got to be careful what you wish for. Be careful what you wish for. Good point. Thank you so much for that. Back to back. Thank you so much. Let Misha Green take a shot at X-Men. Ooh-wee. now, okay, now hold on. Now you talking about the Lovecraft lady now. Okay. It depends on, I need to know where she's at with the comics. I need to know. Because if it's and I'm not trying to diss the sister, but like, I don't want a Nia DaCosta situation. I don't want that. I don't want somebody who has been a fan, but they haven't really read and they got to catch up later. I don't want that. You can't just listen. The reason why X-Men 97 is cooking is because Bo DeMayo and everyone on the team are real nerds. They are nerds about this stuff. They will sit there and be like, oh, listen, on page 4 of X-Men 25, that's when Magneto said it. Like, they will let you know they've watched. Bo DeMayo just said that they have Friday watch parties for the old series. Just so that they could take notes and all that. That's the kind of people I want making the movies. I don't want somebody like, oh, let's just pick somebody from out the blue and let's just no. I need people that know the stuff, that understand it, that have a finger on the pulse of the culture. I need somebody that knows that we want to see Jean not faint that much. I need somebody that understands Wolverine ain't got to pop his claws just because it's morning time. I need somebody that knows that Nightcrawler got to teleport everywhere, anywhere, at every moment. I need somebody that really gets it. Really gets it. Not just because they black, not just because they LGBTQ. No, none of it. You understand the characters, you understand the people, the audience. You know that we want to see Wolverine stab somebody. You know, these are the intangible things that's not on a resume that we need. Okay, so I need them to come in. They don't need no help. No help. But thank you so much. And once again, congrats to you both. Thank you. Okay. All right, last topic. It's time for Marvel to confess. These are their confessions. Listen. I have been, I would say, I think I've been fair. When it comes to my assessment of Marvel and what they do. When there are things I don't agree with, I'll let y'all know. When there are things I love, I'll let y'all know. I don't think that it's ever been a big secret that Marvel's been struggling. We've talked about that many times. I think overall, Phase 4 was a miss overall. Now, at the same time, I would also say that Phase 5 is a transitional period because this is where they're finally going to start. We're going to see the little baby steps in between. You know, any transition period is rough, but it's not going to be until maybe after 2025, 2026 that we will potentially see the fruits of the decision making on the screen. So with that said, like, Marvel has had some issues, but the real question is, do they know that? Because we've seen other studios, and I'm not going to name no names. We've seen other studios make bad movies, re-release those bad movies in theaters, keep franchise characters out of those movies, and continue making those same movies without the franchise character that everyone has literally asked them for. And that studio would not say a word. They just keep thinking like, oh, y'all want more, right? That's what y'all want, right? Y'all actually want more of these things that y'all didn't ask for, right? I know we flopped a couple times, but we'll just keep giving you some more. We like taking financial hits. But Marvel's cut from a slightly different cloth. So during this, okay, nope, I will talk about it. So during a recent interview, Marvel execs were asked about the state of Marvel and what's going on, and they had some things to say. So this is going to be from Luis Desposito and Kevin Feige. So these are like the two head guys. I think Luis is the VP at Marvel, and Kevin Feige is obviously the head. But here in this interview, Luis said, it's been a rough time. It's been a rough time. However, he sees Wade Wilson, Deadpool's mutant team up threequel, as a sign of things getting back on track. He said, if we just stay on top, that would have been the worst thing that could have happened to us. We took a little hit. We're coming back strong. Maybe when you do too much, you dilute yourself a bit. We're not going to do that anymore. We learned our lesson. Maybe 2 to 3 films a year and 1 or 2 shows, as opposed to doing 4 films and 4 shows. So he is doubling down on what we recently talked about from Bob Iger. Bob Iger said, yo, we ain't doing all them movies and shows like that. We're not doing all that. It's too much. And I think that some people miss why slowing down for Marvel is a good thing. And I don't, because I've seen people still say, oh, Marvel still sucks. Marvel's still not going to get, listen, you have to understand how this movie entertainment world works. Personally, I still think that 3 movies and 2 TV shows, I think, is still too much for Marvel. Okay, so I'm putting that on record. I still think it's too much. But 3 movies max will be, that's fine. The reason why I say that is because when something comes out, you need time to market it, and you need time to test it, and you need time when it actually comes out for people to absorb it. So when a movie comes out, Marvel has to sit here and say, okay, we need to see how people feel. How do the critics feel? Okay, the critics like it. Great. How do the people feel? Uh-oh, the people don't like it. You need a certain amount of time before you jump onto the next movie or you jump onto the next TV series to reflect on what worked and what didn't work, so that way you can make certain adjustments in the future. You cannot have time to make adjustments or to listen to the fans or to look at the reviews if you're constantly jumping from project to project to project to project. That's how they got worn thin during the pandemic, and we got a string of things. Like, you think it's a coincidence that Ant-Man 3 and Thor 4 had all that stupid humor in it? I am of the opinion that if Thor 4 had came out and we had more time in between, they was like, hey, people ain't feeling all them screaming goats and all that silliness. Hey, let's go do these reshoots on Ant-Man 4. Hey, take all that silly stuff out of there. We don't. People were not feeling it before. They would have time to adjust. So the idea of slowing down for Marvel is a great thing, in my opinion, because this does not mean that everything they put out is going to be great. That's not what that means. It means that they have time to adjust if something goes bad, or they have time to double down on something if they find out something is really good. So I like the fact that they're learning from this as well. The fact that he said we learned our lesson. I just told y'all, have y'all heard any other studio say this? Do you know how much it would warm my heart if I heard Sony say we learned our lesson. We're canceling Craven. We're canceling Venom 3. We're actually going to do something that you guys asked for and not just what our executives think y'all want. That would warm my heart, because I know studios have, listen, you're in the business to try things. You are going to put things out there. Maybe they work, maybe they don't. But when things don't work constantly, I need you to stop. Just stop, reflect, change course, do something different. That's one of the reasons why I appreciate Marvel the way that I do, because again, they're not perfect, but I'm always willing to give a studio a shot and the benefit of the doubt when they tell me we messed up. We didn't do, we jacked that up. All right, but we're going to try something different. That's all you can do. I like that. I respect that. And I like the fact that the people at the very top also get it. Not the director, not an actor. No, the people that are in charge of making the decisions, they realize they messed up. That is great stuff. I cannot express to y'all how valuable that is to your viewing experience, to understand that the people that are in charge of giving y'all entertainment know when they do bad and they can learn when they can do better. Oh, I love it. I love it. What else he say? He says, hold on. Who is this? Okay, this is Kevin Feige. Kevin Feige says it's nice to be able to rally behind one feature project this year. He's talking about Deadpool now. I'm much more comfortable being the underdog. I prefer being able to surprise and exceed expectations. So it does seem like the last year, which has not been ideal, has set us up well for that. I like that too. Because if you think about it, go back to phase 4. Nobody had expectations for the MCU. Nobody. We was like, Iron Man, what's that? Ooh, that's actually pretty dope. Great. Avengers. All right, let's see what you got. Dang! $1 billion later. Thanks. This is, Guardians of the Galaxy, Winter Soldier. When there are no expectations, it is so much easier for us to be entertained. However, you also gave us Infinity War and Endgame and Black Panther. Listen, 2018 and Thor Ragnarok. From 2017 to 2019. Okay, let's go back. Y'all need some reminders. You gave us Thor 3, Thor Ragnarok. Great. Black Panther. Fantastic. Infinity War. Oh my gosh. Ant-Man 2. Okay. Not you, Captain Marvel. Endgame. Let's go. And then there's another Spider-Man movie. That was a great time to be alive as a comic movie fan. We had gotten some great stuff from just the MCU. Shout out to Across Into the Spider-Verse. But we got some great stuff during that time frame. But that also, the reason why it was great was because it gave us stuff that we weren't expecting. Nobody was expecting any of those films to do what they did at that time. And it was fantastic. So I understand what he means by he didn't that he likes to be the underdog. That makes sense. I get it, because it's easier to appease when people are not expecting you to do great. Go out there and ball out. And Kevin Feige also says you'd have to live under a rock not to know that the last few Marvel movies have failed to ignite the world in the way that so many did. We do come along at an interesting time, and we are decidedly something different. Whether it is of messianic proportions, time will tell. You have to be living under a rock. I love it. I love it. I absolutely love that he understands that they failed. I absolutely love that he knows that they have come up short. This is what I want to hear from the executive of any company. Any company. When you've been messing up, when you've been failing, that's what I want to hear. That is what I want to hear. So, of course, now this means we have to wait and see what they come up with next, and then we judge it. Maybe Avengers 5 is going to be trash. Maybe. But maybe, Secret Wars would be great. I don't know. I personally think that Deadpool 3 should be very good. I don't think it's going to be amazing, but I do think it's going to be good. But we'll see. But here's something else. I need to talk about this before because I forgot to talk about this last week. But I do want to talk about it before I forget. And this is it goes back to Deadpool and Wolverine. And hold on, let me actually change this because I do want to put this a little differently. It's gonna be a little bold, but I want to put a little message out there for Kevin Feige. When news came out that Hugh Jackman was coming back to Deadpool and Wolverine, I think we all lost our collective minds. It was a triumphant type of announcement. Keep in mind, for years, it was never going to happen. Like, Hugh Jackman was like, I'm good, I'm done, I'm not doing it. And recently in an interview, Kevin Feige confessed to what he told Hugh Jackman at that time when he was done with Logan. In this, he says here, Feige says that he was just as touched as everyone else when Logan delivered a fitting conclusion for Jackman's take on the mutant hero in 2017. Feige told him, I said, let me give you a piece of advice, Hugh Jackman. Don't come back. You had the greatest ending in history with Logan. That's not something we should undo. So, starting at left guard, the Kevin Feige was a contributing factor as to why it took so long for Hugh Jackman to come back. This is not the first time that this has happened, and this is becoming a recurring thing with Kevin Feige. Now, I've already told you guys that I still believe that Kevin Feige is probably going to go down in history as one of the greatest Hollywood producers of all time. I've also told y'all that we are in the midst of living in history because we've never had a cinematic universe to this proportion ever. We've had movies that have had multiple sequels and stuff like that, franchise, sure, but not like the MCU. But it's time for Kevin Feige and those in Marvel Studios to let go of this idea. Matter of fact, I'll just call it a myth. And that myth is the notion that bringing characters back or even recasting will ruin legacies or stories of a character that left off on a good note. He previously said that he didn't want Robert Downey Jr. to come back as Iron Man because the ending was so great for Tony Stark. He didn't want to recast T'Challa after Chadwick Boseman's passing because nobody could do it better than Chadwick, right? He didn't want Hugh Jackman to return as Wolverine because Logan's ending was so great. Now, everything he thought about was true. Logan was great. Chadwick Boseman was fantastic. The ending for Tony Stark was exceptional. All of that was true. The one thing that I think Kevin Feige has missed is the fact that audiences are sophisticated enough to separate things in the past. It's kind of like sports. Even in the NBA, walk into your local barbershop, whatever, you still have people to this day talking about basketball from the 90s era when the rules were different and Michael Jordan and the Chicago Bulls, let's go Bulls, were dominating. Just because something was great, it doesn't mean that people will forget it if something or someone new comes along. Nor does it mean that the past will be undone. Didn't nobody forget about Michael Jordan and the Bulls because LeBron came along? If anything, we talk about both of them at the same time. Kevin Feige has to learn to trust the process because he's in the business of fictional storytelling, which means he literally can do whatever he wants at any time. People will either cherish it or they'll reject it, but they'll never forget it. So this idea of trying to say, this great thing happened, we can never go back. Sir, you have the multiverse. You write fictional stories. You create fictional situations. What are you talking about? If what Kevin Feige's ideology were true, we'd have only 100 comic books in existence because we could never bring nobody back. We could never have characters do different stories. We could just, like, once it's great, you just leave it there and bury it. That's not how it works. I need you to let go of this. It makes no sense. If Robert Downey Jr. came back, and let's be honest, first of all, you don't want him back because you're going to have to pay him Tony Stark money. I understand, okay? Just say that. Just say that. But if Robert Downey came back today, if he came back today, in the MCU, who is going to forget what he did in Endgame? Hey, y'all, there's a variant, Tony Stark. It happens to be Robert Downey. Who's going to forget the 616 version? Not me. What are you talking about? If you brought in another T'Challa from another universe and you said, hey, this is T'Challa from 919 or whatever, who's going to forget Chadwick Boseman? And I'm talking to all the people out there that are like, nobody could do it better than Chad. Are you really going to forget Chadwick Boseman and what he did if someone else from another universe came in? Really? Are you that superficial? I don't think you are. I think you're smart. I think you're sophisticated. I think you can juggle in your mind that there are two different actors that are playing maybe a similar character, but the circumstances are different. Which one of y'all forgot all them James Bond actors in all the different James Bond movies? Y'all forgot Sean Connery that fast? Y'all gonna forget, Daniel Craig just because somebody else gonna step in? No, nobody's forgetting these things. So this ideology that Kevin Feige has, it needs to be let go of. You can do great things, and just like in the comics, which by the way, you're still the head of, you can come back and do something else. And if it fails, that's okay, because we'll still hold on to the past until something new comes along. And guess what? If something great does come along, we'll still have the past and we'll have this new shiny thing. I need them to let this go because it's a bad myth. I'm not going to call it stupid because I understand emotionally where he's coming from, but it's a very bad myth. And you are limiting the potential of growth and all of that by not continuing new things. You mean to tell me that you almost had us not have Hugh Jackman come back? Sir, how dare you? How dare you? How dare you? Anyway. Guys, what do y'all think about the Marvel confessions of how they have let y'all know that they've been messing up, that they've learned their lesson, and that they will do better? How do y'all feel about the past Kevin Feige decisions? Whatever you think, please feel free to let me know your thoughts in the comments down below. And yes, I will clip this. Oh yes. Oh, I'm gonna clip it and I'm gonna do a little more with it too. I'm gonna do a little something more with that because I had to get that off my chest. Like that really bothers me because I'm like, you're too smart for this. Like you as someone in the movie industry, you're too smart for this. You should not be sitting here beholden to moments as if they can't move forward. It'll be all right. I mean, look at Creed. Creed continued on with Rocky. Rocky made 2-3 movies right after Rocky 4. Who is forgetting what happened in Rocky 4? I'm not. If he dies, he dies. I'm still rocking with it. It's a myth. Let it go. Ill, what you got? Thank you so much. I like to see Ava DuVernay directed X-Men movie written by her and Jordan Peele. Again, what's the familiarity with it? I need to know. How much do y'all know? Now, I know Ava is a comic nerd. Now, she was supposed to do the DC New Gods. I understand she likes that. That's cool. I don't know Jordan Peele's affiliation with Marvel like that. I'm not going to just throw names out there. Like I said, I need to, because you cannot play with the X-Men. The X-Men, I'm telling y'all now, the X-Men are going to make or break the MCU. If they cannot get the X-Men right, Marvel will crumble. They might stay along because of Spider-Man here or there, but the MCU as a lot, they're going to crumble if they cannot get the X-Men right. So I'm not saying they're bad choices. I'm just saying I hope that they know they stuff. I hope they do. One more. Thank you so much. What Marvel movie would you want to see Jonathan Nolan write and direct? I think he could make a good Wolf by Night sequel. So Jonathan Nolan, who did one of my favorite movies, Memento. That's a good question. Okay, I'll give you one. I think, and again, if Jonathan Nolan is very good at if he's very familiar with the characters, I would like for him to do a Cable movie. If he does a movie about Cable, Rachel Summers, Hope Summers, something like that, I think he would excel at that because he clearly does a very good job writing about time and the implications of time. So if you put him on a Cable Bishop type of story, I think he'd be fantastic. That would be my pick right off the cuff, off the dome right there. Thank you so much for that. Baker, my goodness, thank you so much for that. Super, y'all are blessing me too. Like for real, thank y'all for real. Thank you. I really do appreciate y'all. DePaul, what you got? Speaking of returning characters, it's been rumored that Chris is coming back for Secret War. Chris who? How do you think they will do if that's true? Wait, Chris who? Oh, I think you mean Chris Evans, maybe. I did see something about that. Yeah, fine. Okay. Whatever. Like, that's great. Like Chris Evans is not going to make or break the movie. I think he's a welcome addition. I'm never going to be mad if this is the best role he's ever had in his life. In his whole career, Captain America is the best thing he could do. So him coming back as Cap or even Steve Rogers, whatever, that's great. Bring it on. Yes, please, and thank you. I'll take it. Thank you so much. JN, Kugler is the right choice. Shout out to the truth. All right. Hey, you entitled to your opinion. I made my case. No thanks. Quiet one. If you could pick Matt Reeves writing and directing MCU film, what would it be? And would you have him do a trilogy like an Apes trilogy? So funny you mentioned that. Hold on. Let's see, is it still up? Oh, look at this. I actually, because back a long time ago, your boy actually wrote for Screen Rant, for a small stint. And I actually wrote an entire article about this, and I'm going to put this in the comments for you that you can read if you like. But the number one pick I would have made is Wolverine. I think that he could absolutely do a fantastic job if he wanted to come into the MCU and do a story about Wolverine. So when did I do this? This was 2 years ago. Yeah, wow, 2 years ago, 2022. So that would be who I want Matt Reeves to play, to direct. I would just recommend y'all to go back and read the article if you like, for all the reasons why. But based off of what he did with the Batman, I think he would have a field day with Wolverine and his character and all the trauma, the wars, all of that stuff. Matt Reeves will cook. He would cook exceptionally well if he went and did that. So that was my take. All right, guys. I think that is it. I want to thank y'all so much for all of the love, all of the support. I'm trying to make sure I don't leave nobody hanging here before we get out of here. Oh, Thomas, thank you so much for the $10 cash app. I appreciate you. I'm gonna send some love right back. Thank you. Let's see. What'd you say here? How do you feel about the actors coming back and they have nothing to do with the role? I'm fine with it. That's fine. It's a multiverse. It's okay. No, not a big deal. But thank you guys again. I appreciate y'all so much. Thank you for just supporting the channel. Thank you for buying the shirts. Thank you for the super chats, the cash apps. Shout out to the replay gang. Shout out to Mambo Jazz. My man be coming in on all the replays, hitting the thank you button and donating. I appreciate y'all so much. You know, like it goes a long way, guys. I cannot express that enough. So you know, I hope you guys have a good time. Hope y'all enjoy it. Make sure you check out the replay clips. You know, just play it for the algorithm. Put it on in the background. I don't care. You know, just tell YouTube like, yo, this is a good channel. You know what I'm saying? Anyway, we got the season finale of X-Men 97 Wednesday night, 7 p.m. Central Standard Time. Make sure you tune in. That's probably going to be bananas. And then, of course, we'll be back here next week, same time, same place, on this Friday live stream so we could talk about stuff. But guys, it's the weekend. Please enjoy yourself. Have a fantastic time. Be safe out there. You know the routine. Wash your hands, wash your butts. And until next time, see you guys later. Peace.